helps your synapse to be free. Which is, as far as I understand, how you think.
Okay, so that brings us to session number 46. 46 and only a couple of deaths so far. But hey, no one really remembers Mdrak that much anyway.
Except for Zal, who still occasionally calls
And Chauvel.
brother and sister and one of those.
And it's not like Zal really wanted to be a cleric or a ranger, was it? Ranger?
Well, I wanted to be a ranger.
No, you really didn't.
No, apparently not.
You wanted to be a melee fighter. You learned quickly you chose the wrong kind of class.
And I somehow still keep getting killed or down like every other session.
Because you were squishy.
This is like some divine punishment for them.
Stop trying to be
It's
Trying
the
to
gods
be a
looking at
ranger.
you going, you used Con as a dump stat, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. That's not quite a problem at the moment, but I still only have like 31.
Yes. And some things can do that with just one blow. Bink!
Yeah.
But you can do the same thing with one blow or one shot with an arrow.
So we'll have everyone introduce themselves before I say what happened last session, so with the hope that Sue will arrive by that stage and won't miss out on the recap. So I will start off with the person who's not here. Stefan.
Hello, I am playing Shofar, the song mistress of Elvenkind. I currently have a gnome band, apparently, and we'll be releasing a new album soon. I like to think that I choose my own songs, but apparently Jazzwings is in control of that, so...
Well, you need a manager.
Have I been relegated to be called Jazzwings now?
Shofar's a little bit ticked you keep trying to delegate manager.
So is the next one?
I'm merely trying to record your greatness.
So is the
And
next,
I'm 6 years old.
I
Give
know.
me a break.
I know.
so is the next album called There's No Place Like Home?
There's no place like home. No?
All about tossing off the mountain top?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah, we had that. We
The
had Tossed Off
Jazzwings would
Mountain.
work so well with that song.
We're going down the mountain. The long way.
We're going down
The long way.
we go.
And then we have Ross.
Yes, I'm playing Godfrey, the swashbuckling pirate who's did not read the finer clause to his sentencing. So never trust a gnome, especially with the contract.
No.
Never get into a deal with a gnome.
Especially
Never steal from a gnome.
Especially a Sicilian gnome.
Mm.
Which
But most of them will beat you with law.
Literally?
Yes.
Yes.
Literally.
Like my book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their books.
So when they're going to beat you up with law, it's like, Bink, or they just bring the bookshelf down on you. Book. You're buried.
I knew I liked it for some reason.
And all their library props on top of it.
I'm just imagining a gnome jumping on top of someone, slapping him with a book of law, going, "Objection! Objection! Objection!"
Actually, that's not a bad idea for a next character.
Objection, I win.
It's basically got the DM's guide and running around with the game.
Yeah, that would work.
Okay, so next person around, the law book person themselves. M.
I wouldn't say it's a law book, but it seems to heal people. pretty
Law
good.
as in L-O-W, L-O-R-E. It's still
law,
law.
not law.
Yeah, it's necropic law.
It's all about raising them better.
Yeah.
How to raise kids.
And their
And
families.
empower the future.
The force
How
is
to raise a stable family.
But undead is normally unstable, that's the reason why they fall apart.
It's like that old necromancer's joke, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
How to raise a
You
family.
killed my brother! You have my sword! You have my axe! And the necromancer's like, you have your brother!
Mm.
Yes. Well, I don't quite have my brother anymore because he's kind of my sister and kind of an elf now, but that's another story.
Aren't you your sister? Are you male or female yet? Or you're
Male.
I'm male.
depending on which
Female.
No, remember she's had an
Can't
illusion
work now.
stuck cast
As
on her.
far as I'm aware, I don't know when it happened, but I stopped looking like my sister. I still have an imp, but it's not annoyance anymore. It's called solace.
Oh, I thought it was irritation.
No, it wasn't.
No, I
annoyance.
think you're right, solace.
They all have their names.
Yeah.
And they like it to be as soul crushing as possible.
Yeah.
So whichever's the most soul crushing for you is the name they'll take.
Soulless or solace?
Solace, like
So what?
you give
As
me
in
solace.
comfort?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Well, cause it was like right at the end of the session when we got to I think the other house.
Yeah.
And annoyance was like, I'm still here, and I'm like, well, that gives me solace, and he's like, okay, solace I am.
Yeah.
I'm here. And yeah.
Okay, so well, that's for me. Be sober.
Sober.
Or it might be get me a drink.
No, well, the thing
Because
is,
remember,
if
it is what's more soul crushing is for you. It's more soul crushing to say get me a drink and he shows up. Yes.
Yeah, well, if I'm completely blind drunk, I'm lucky as half an hour. I could do basically anything. That's how I was able to fly the ship.
Oh,
Because I
I
was
see.
just plastered and I
Technically, didn't you crash the ship?
I sobered up.
So you.
No, I sobered up. That's the reason why I crashed the ship.
Oh, I see. Alright.
Blind Terror has a reason for doing that. I'm sure he was in the middle of crashing before he sobered up, and he sobered up just in time to crash.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right. So
By the
Zal.
way, it's the druid's fault.
It's always the druid's fault. Which one's the druid?
No. The druids. You know, the one
The
that
ones you
decide to.
All druids are bad as far as Galantria's concerned.
The ones that are basically making undead out of poison and things like that.
Oh, those
And
druids, the ones at the winery.
Yeah, which seems to be.
That
Yeah,
aren't at the
massive.
winery at the moment because we scared them off a second time.
No, they came back and destroyed the winery and then they went north.
Yeah.
See, we don't know where they are, but we have 2 or 3 gems.
Yep.
Yeah, we're aware of. So
And
that's the thing.
speaking of bright things,
Yes,
So-
speaking of shiny,
then it's
bright
Josh.
beacons of light and hope and
Chevelle.
fiery.
Your savior has arrived. Thank you very much.
We need
yeah,
a cloak
yeah.
of smouldering.
Yeah, here's armor of smoker.
Light the beacon, Sir Vala's call for aid.
Light the beacons.
He technically has. He's already lit.
So I'm playing Chevelle by Nazi. I'm also known as what's that bright thing over there?
Oh look, a beacon. Oh,
Look,
wait.
a beacon.
Also the human
Oh wait, the
torch.
beacon's angry.
Yes.
Oh god, the beacon's angry. Oh god, the beacon's angry.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No,
I'm
it's
just glad
just
you
shove it
can't-
out.
It's just a paladin.
It's just a paladin.
Yes.
If you can fly, then you'll be the human torch.
So you're a 5 Genasi or a quarter Genasi? 5.
He was a Nazi before somebody.
Because some of you got angry.
Would that have been
Before
Indra?
someone's past character.
No, I made them angry.
Yeah, by a cursed stone.
It wasn't
It's
cursed.
not even technically
Yeah.
past character.
Yeah,
It's
but the thing is that
it's
that stone now has a
same person.
power. If you give it to a water
Different
Nazi,
gender
they drop
slash
it.
race.
They
Right,
become
yeah.
a fire Nazi.
They didn't drop it.
Oh.
I dropped it.
Yeah,
He did the
So
handball to
far.
him right in front of his
Yeah.
face and he went,
Do you have
Was
like
that
all of
that one,
Imdrak's
wasn't it?
memories?
Yeah.
Like, so you have one continuous memory.
yep,
You've just changed sex and
body
and
and...
Yeah,
and
but
race.
now because I've been like 3 or 4 different people technically,
So you've got all of those
I
memories.
have like 4 identities,
And you
and
have
they're all me. So it's very confusing.
Except as far
So
as
you
Cushy's
technically
concerned, there's only one
like a
true
split
version of you.
personality type deal now, or
No, it's still the same me, just they're attached to those different ones.
And the Disney Princess one can't actually swear or get angry.
And I will point out, teenage angst was always present, just in different forms.
sure.
Yeah, this is how Go Away came about.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah, I do remember going.
And which why it became such a great hit song. Everyone thought it was so adorable and came back to watch. Go away, go away. Come to watch. Go away.
So
go away.
your song was 0 effective.
Yeah.
Except for make him more popular.
Yeah.
Well, no one interrupted him while he was doing it, so he got to get through the entire song before anyone said anything, and then they all applauded.
What about the tabloids about the tryst with you of the fire Nazi?
No one knows about that except for the Magister of what's its face.
I don't know. The tablets might have gotten hold of it somehow.
Yeah. Oh, that fucking cat.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
pardon my French.
Yeah, well, you're not in character at the moment, so you say.
Figs and jam.
Yeah, but I'm out of character. I'm fairly certain that's the Majesty going, what's this? But, you know. Because I think the Majesty's a bit of a,
Okay.
Probably trying to undo that other bestseller of Smut.
Well, I wasn't trying to, but I guess so.
As far as
Well-
I knew, they watched fireworks together.
Yeah.
What don't I know?
The love potion they had at the same time.
But they had dinner and watched fireworks, right?
And Netflix. And
Yeah,
chill.
and then there were fireworks.
No, Disney's better. You're the Disney princess. You're not watching Netflix.
We had
They-
Disney and chill. Are you happy
That's
now?
right.
They had an abridged version that day.
The Disney abridged.
Reader's Digest version of Disney.
Disney abridged, yeah.
No, I had the
Wow.
Dragon Slayer version
Oh.
of Disney.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so moving on to Ariadne.
To Calcrix, the white dragon with the jazz wings.
So I will note it's one of the few times I've actually gone to Josh before and he's not been eating.
I know, right?
Yeah,
No food.
that's because the food hasn't arrived yet. Yeah, and my gnome,
Alright, can't catch me.
my coffee gnome, Grindle Waffle Brewmaster. And I've just turned 6, so I'm no longer a 5-year-old baby dragon. I'm a 6-year-old baby dragon. Yay!
Oh, it's Grindle. I keep calling him Griddle.
Grindle Waffle.
Okay.
That's the reason why he doesn't really give you great coffees.
Ah, that makes sense now.
If you can't get his name right, you don't get a
He
decent
gives
order.
you decaf.
Yeah, fair enough.
He gives you the coffee that we give to the axe beak, the coffee.
I don't think anyone's corrected him yet. So.
I was not using the caffeinated milk because
A lot of
now-
people have learned that trying to correct an elf is, a matter of they don't have enough time in their lifespan to do so.
It's okay.
Unless it's a dwarf.
Calcrix can come up to you and go,
So that's how the war started.
Grindle Waffle. Grindle Grindle
This makes me
Waffle.
think of the
She can do this
Friends
for
meme where it's like,
hours.
Grindle
I need to roll to see if I get this.
Waffle.
Icy bomb.
Yeah.
That's 14 for retention.
Or put it as Polly.
Does that mean you actually remember Grindle Waffle?
Ask the GM.
Does that mean he actually remembers
Sure.
Grindle
You'll
Waffle?
find out next time he forgets.
Okay,
Ready.
fair enough.
You could have just called him, yo, coffee nose.
Yeah. He might actually pee in your coffee then.
No, I don't drink.
Me? Wow.
If
That's what I
he-
did.
If you said yo, coffee.
He came up with that. He's going to pee in my coffee?
No.
This isn't very fair.
Hey, yeah, I'll do a ventriloquism.
No, I
You know,
said
like the-
if you did that.
Yeah, but it actually came from the Disney princess. It sounded exactly like
I'm going to
that.
go for quarter and angst now. Excuse me.
But I don't think I'd be able to drink coffee anyway.
Why is that? You think you'll be a bit too hyper?
No, because I think it also would activate the curse.
You won't find out until you try it. You can experiment as much as you feel painful.
What is this about activating the curse of coffee?
If he drinks certain beverages, he gets his
I
curse
think
activated.
I think it's anything that will have an addictive, pleasant thing. So,
This is
okay.
horrible.
But I can drink it.
So it means that I'm now sort of happy that if I'm with you, I'm going to get non-alcoholic beverages.
Here's water. Water? I want more than water. I'd like more than water.
No, I don't want water because this is in the Middle Ages and that's probably got so much bacteria. That's why I want to drink beer.
Well, they do have the ability to purify
Yeah.
stuff. When they purify it, you can pretty much turn any decent liquid into water.
Actually,
Is that like
that's one thing.
Piety's tankard of sobriety?
Yeah, actually, I need to buy that tankard now.
For safety's sake, I drink everything out of this tankard. And someone carves up one just similar to it and enchants it differently. Yeah, here's your tankard.
That'll work.
What does that do? Same thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure.
Doubles the alcohol content of anything put into it.
So it's the warm
It's hard pulling you out.
Very much so. It's the only way to enjoy elven wine as far as they're concerned. Okay, so the flashback of what's happened, because we'll go around to that, is you have gone to Galantry. You were investigating what was happening with the gemstones and went north to find out what had happened. While going north, you took a side trek over the mountains because, well, it was pretty that way. And you found yourself in the Elven nation of Windar, which at which point you lost memory of what actually happened though. Ended up with the Elvish stone in your pocket, and on your way to the Isle of Dread, which meant that you were pretty much out of reach of the elves. Which normally happens when, you know, it's normally bad to be close to the people who you just stole their priceless artifact from.
But we have no memory of
See,
stealing
I
that.
told
so.
you I could do amazing things if I'm drunk.
And every time you try to remember what happened there, you always get this picture of a smiling face and feel like your head's been unwhacked for a
Yeah,
little while.
we go and drool on the floor for a few hours.
Yeah, it feels like that weird kind of case of reverse pickpocketing. It's like, oh, there's an army following me after this item here, I'll just give it to this random party here.
These would work a good group of suckers, and I'll just send them somewhere else. And so, after spending some time at the Isle of Dread and finding out that the cat people have space technology too,
Yeah, space magic.
It's got the only settlement we hadn't screwed up, because we probably didn't interfere with them anyway.
I don't think we're there long enough to screw it up. And the dinosaurs are too busy trying to eat us.
Dinosaurs.
there was that, and actually got trapped in the dinosaur balls anyway.
Yeah.
Please rephrase that.
Dino balls?
Pokeball magic things.
Well, at least we didn't call them dino scrotums.
Yeah.
So I think we weren't there long enough to screw up someone else's village because we were screwing each other over by Pokeballs.
We now know that you don't give them to sorcerers because they can overpower them.
And you don't give them to dragons because everyone else gets caught in them?
Pretty much.
You don't give them to barbarians because, well, bad things can happen?
Because I can't
No,
see in the dark.
they get pegged so far into the
No.
dinosaur that it bounces off into a party member.
No, because I can't see in the dark.
And you don't run away from dinosaurs. That was an interesting lesson.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you don't actually run away from dinosaurs. You just kind of kill them.
You
You
should
just
get
Should have stuck with the
can
plan.
do some cooking lessons.
Should have stuck with the plan saying you like speak to the animal or you charm them and then you throw the bloody Pokeball at them.
And the after dealing with the Isle of Dread and that, you returned to Galantry, at which point you decided to go off and investigate more of those gems. You found out that the winery had been pretty much destroyed in the time you'd been gone. And you followed in the middle of all that you also encountered the gnomish lawyers who'd been tracking down Yodri for a while to basically get him to be held accountable for stealing one of their ships.
Hello. Oh, I'm okay. Hello.
So after going through the fog, which you found out was named the Blood Fog, you had gone and fought a gigantic tree and managed to rip its heart out, which was a gemstone, and one of the gemstones you were looking for. And then Camdu got a spear, which allows her to wave it around and make the blood fog turn into blood.
Actual blood will turn into blood. Not just turn into blood. Rain blood down on top of us in a certain area.
Well, it's completely different to you who just push it away.
Okay.
Yeah, but that at least didn't involve us getting coated in blood.
That's why you got prestidigitation.
Yeah, but then the dragon decided to make blood angels and
No,
Why are we pouring with blood again?
no, you can't make blood angels because that's going to the 40k and we're totally screwed if we go to 40k.
And so after that point there, they decided to take the gnomes up on their offer for... they went north and found the equivalent of Baba Yaga, except she doesn't have a tiny house with chicken legs, she has a castle.
yeah,
She's upgraded.
the little hillside lifted up in front of us, and we were like, oh shit.
And basically starting a landslide as it started to move towards you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so she's pinched Hal's castle.
Or hell pinched hers.
Yeah.
Hard to tell whose is older.
Or she just has a fucking hillside as a house. Like a carved hillside that just happens to move.
Maybe you know, took a little bit of liberty from the Pokemon movie. Pikachu detective.
Or
Or
how
terrors
it's
everywhere.
What terrors
happy
are
things
everywhere.
with witches.
So after that, they went to the gnomish city that's above the dwarves, who the dwarves swear doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Don't know what.
So-
So yeah, Sophie tripped out the entire time. Like, what is this place?
And basically,
What
it
else
is
do you do?
it is the center of their air people. So their commerce come and go from there. Their mechanists work out of it to build and maintain their air fleets, and most of their stuff is magic mechanical. So while it is good for many to use, it's generally only designed for gnomes or something as crazy as a gremlin to operate. So after that, and going through a trial and Yodri getting cursed, you came back to Galantry and managed to arrive just in time for Calcrix to have a birthday party and have a few honoured guests show up and wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, the princess.
So
That's a
so I'm
princess
classed as a
statement.
gremlin member.
Did you successfully fly it?
Yeah, until I got sober.
Can do.
If you successfully
Sorry?
fly it,
Can-
with,
yeah, can
whether
do
you're
that.
sober or not,
Camden was there.
you basically
Everybody
have to
was
be a
there.
gremlin to be able to keep it up
We
in the
had
air.
the head of the
No
School
one
of
else seems to
Magic
be able to
and
fly their
all the
machines
princes
besides gnomes and
some
gremlins.
of the elf princesses came. And it was really
Especially with the
fun.
amount of buttons on there and the fact that they all look the same.
Yeah, it was princess.
Yeah, that probably gives a really high impression when you're sober.
As long as the presents were
But of course, the gnomes seem to know intrinsically which one does what.
Sparkly, Calcrix didn't really care.
And to top it all off, each of their machines is different, so the button layout is not the same. You can't say, I flew in this one will fly out the same. Nope, doesn't work like that. There is a reason why people curse the gnomes. Whereas a dwarf, if the dwarf built it, it would be built the same way every time.
I kind of feel like there should be some middle ground instead of one extreme or the other, but you know.
That's why those two don't get along so well.
You need to find German gnomes.
Yeah, the German gnomes.
Well, they do invent and advance, but anytime they replicate something, it's exactly the same.
So, yeah.
But they'll build a new pattern and then build that exactly the same. Create a new pattern, then build that exactly the same. So they're very much German-esque in how they do stuff.
Yeah, they just don't want to pay royalties. That's the reason why each one's completely different.
I don't want to play royalties, so I'll change Soka's recordings just enough. Teasing.
Hey, you've got been auto-tuned.
Apparently.
I
If
promise.
I'm lucky, I've got Gnome Stein with me.
I split it fairly with you. I take a small commission for myself
Or Huss.
for doing all the work, and then you get the rest.
Gnomish heavy metal.
Yeah.
I do remixes. I've night choreified your songs.
With the help
They're
of the
now
gnomes.
night chored. So you sound like a chipmunk on.
I already sound like a chipmunk.
No, but now you sound like a chipmunk on speed.
Alright,
So
okay.
it's like you actually got the proper copy from Window Waffle instead of actually the decaf.
Right, gotcha.
So yes, and so also introduce Sue, who is here as well, and she's playing Camdu.
Yep.
The amazing barbarian who always seems to show up right when you didn't realize she was gone.
Yeah.
Look at all the heads on pikes now.
Technically, we don't know where Camdu and Cheval is at the moment, so
Could you lose me?
unless you want to
Oh, bright thing over there.
No, it's because
You're probably running up looking for me.
Either that or you're just standing and acting as a street light.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're picking up a week after the dragon birthday party. Some of you had been saying you wanted to get more information about the magic seeds you've been carrying around.
Yes, and we've been warned to keep that very, very quiet at the moment.
Secret seeds. I
Mm-hmm.
missed that.
Cursed seeds.
So the green seed you got from the elves, and the one you got
Oh.
from the tree you destroyed.
Oh, those ones. Okay.
Well, just think of it.
I thought they were gems.
They are gems. They are gems in the shape of seeds.
Oh, I see.
Just think of it. Whenever it's been removed, death and destruction comes into play.
Do I have both of them? I think I've got both of them.
I think they gave you both, yes.
Yeah.
They should be in your
For safety.
My satchel.
bag,
The satchel
yeah.
that stays with me all the time.
Okay, so in that time, you were able to spend some time researching those seeds in the library, because you had decided to do some downtime and investigate. And what you found out from that is that the seeds came to Galantry from Traldara. And the Traldarans had brought it as part of their migration. So they've been in the region for maybe about 100 to 200 years. It's a bit rough.
How do you spell Troll?
Traldara. And those people had migrated to this region, and they brought some of the artifacts of their people here
To Glantry?
to Galantry. The
Was it
Moldavian.
Lantry back then, or was that as it was being?
I'd have to look at the history of when it became called Galantry.
Right, okay. No, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's
Did you just say they're artifacts?
From that they brought with them when they migrated here.
Okay.
So they come across. They originally originated in the region now known as Karamikos,
Oh.
because they were conquered. But then again, Galantry got conquered and turned into Galantry. Darakan got conquered and turned into Darakan. And the Traldaran people are more tribal than they are big countries. And history doesn't say why they no longer have countries, or what happened to their countries. Just that they no longer have countries.
The people, the people, the descendants still exist, or they just kind of like morphed into where they migrated
So
to?
the Moldavian region
Yep.
are the descendants of the Traldarans. The entire region is that principality are the people of Traldara. And it's one of the reasons why the underlying language of Galantry, Darakan, and Karamikos is Traldara. Or Traldaran, however they, depending on which one you speak to, they like to put their own little touch on it.
So basically, if we're going on
What were the three
who actually
regions?
owns them,
Galantry, Darakan, and Karamikos.
Thank you. Sorry, Ross.
so we now just have to try to backtrack and saying who actually owns them.
And
Does it really
you do
matter?
think if you want to find more information about where the seeds came from originally, you would have to go and investigate in Karamikos.
Oh, okay.
Yay! We're going overseas! Are we?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
I need to
Same
find
nation.
Some
Ah.
other
And it sounds like there's a car out there.
Need to find where I can act as a battery.
The gnomes do have a place there.
What,
Man.
Paramina's Mesa?
Karamikos, yes, they have one of their major kingdoms there. It is their manufacturing center.
Okay.
So all the machinery that make up most of their other machines is constructed there.
I hurt myself. Oh, waving my hands above my head. Stabby, stabby pain.
That's so
Find
good.
out actually
No!
if any purpose of what these damn things are called, made for.
Not in that sort of knowledge. People take these things and use them for other things. So, the information you find from the library there is that rumors were that it enhanced any growth in the area around where you planted it. As in makes magical versions of whatever growing there.
And once it's gone, it devastates the area.
It's rarely talked about what's happened when it's gone. Mainly because there's no one left to talk about it. Yeah, true.
Is that because they've been killed in order
Normally.
for others to get the gems?
You'd expect something like that because there's no reports of people after the stones have moved on.
So where's the biggest active volcano where we can throw these things into?
Well, many places. You have some in Galandric. That is the closest volcanoes. Just that if they're artifact level power, you might actually
Destroy the world!
blow the volcano while you're throwing it in there.
So did Mount Doom actually blow up or just only not the ring?
It blew because the fact that the power of the ring also stopped it blowing. So it kept it at a set level and put limitations on where the
Yeah.
lava flowed. And once the ring went, all the magic wards that stopped it from blowing dropped in one go. So I was like, yes, I have turned off the safety room. And so someone had put all their eggs in one basket. I'll tie all my power into this one item that I can take off my finger.
Is it alright if I call them gem seeds because they're
Yep.
gems that look like seeds?
Yep.
Just make it easier for the writing.
It's all good.
Do we know where in Karamekas we should start heading?
No, because there's a slight problem. The places that did know about them were overtaken by the Phaeacians over 100 years ago. So you're going to have to find somewhere where they have knowledge predating the Phaeacian invasion.
So gnomes.
Gnomes, elves, or other repositories of lore in Karameikos. Wednesday's group know of a few, so Rendarian might be able to give you pointers.
Redrian.
Redrian might be able to give you pointers.
I don't think we need to go near them because they're currently wanted at the moment.
They hair ties.
Yep.
Just couldn't tell what they were for a moment. Just that they're clear. That does look nice. It's okay, I'm actually full.
There is still stuff left if you want some later.
I'm good, I don't actually need much food, which is nice. So yeah, so the basic thing you have is that the seeds made their way from Karameikos. There's no guarantee it originated in Karameikos, but that would be the next place you would investigate what happened to it. In the time you're waiting for Yodrev to go to trial while you're there for a week, you would have found out that one thing you found out about the gnomes is their big flying city that they have is actually based on technology from that they stumbled across, and it's basically a large propulsion engine holding up a city.
So they
Space
stole
magic?
So they stole it from the cats.
Is it,
Creates the cats.
is either space magic from the cats or it's one of Redrian's victory ship?
Sorry,
Did
my
we mention
writing's
that-
just a little bit slow.
It's okay.
Did we
Um,
mention that
so
to
the-
him when we talked to him last, or didn't we know that?
I'm assuming
This
you,
is a week since we talked to Redrian.
yeah.
Sorry.
You spoke to him on the way back from the gnomes, so yes, you would have had a chance to tell him about that.
So the races were elves, gnomes, the races that have outlived the Phaeacians were.
The elves, gnomes, and the original Phaeacians, so you might be able to ask them about what had actually having their law. But considering Phaeacians are very good at burning other people's history, very much like the Alphaetians, it makes it very hard to dig into law when the nations have been conquered. That's why the halflings no longer have a language, because various people have conquered them over the years and they lost their language.
So we also find out that the Air City of the Gnomes
Yep, called
is based.
Serarain, I think it's called. I can't give you the spelling for that one because I can't remember the correct spelling, the pronunciation. It's actually standing up on the shelf up there somewhere. When you've got many books up there, it's very hard to see. That one.
That was built using different technology from space.
And technology they discovered from space and adapted.
What is this? Ruby mazes.
I've got one of those.
Why don't you stare at it while you turn it on and find out?
That's my mood blade.
Yes, but you don't go like this and go, eh.
Oh. No, it doesn't have reclining or whatever.
Hey, just look at A New Hope, Star
Yeah, I
Wars,
know,
and he looks at it like this before he turns it on.
It was your father's.
I guess you weren't the chosen one after all.
I'll just go look for your sister.
Hey, it would have been a different movie.
I'm pretty sure that's what they did in How It Should Have Ended. I'm pretty sure it was animation.
I've
Press
just
the button.
So
I've just ignored
we would need to report this research to Redrian and
Well, I'm assuming that you reported the engine one on your way back from the Gnomish City, because
Yep.
that's where you'd spent some time.
need a rest from running.
That's okay. And so, as you guys are catching up in Zal's tower, Camdu and Chauvel just walk in the front door.
I run and jump into Camdu's arms and I give you a big.
And they offer no explanation of where they've been or what they've been doing.
No.
I don't
So
ask.
I was kind of just like, how the hell did the glowing beacon of fire over here walk through the cities of Galantry without being stopped?
You have no memory of where you came from or how you got here.
Okay. That happens to me a bit, I think.
Yeah, it's from Traveller, Scout's Brew.
But the room is better lit now.
Yeah. What? Lit as in on fire? Or
Well, there is now this holy beacon shining clearly in the room.
I go and close what blinds are open. Close all the blinds. Nothing to see here, no column here.
Ignore this, it's a disco rave, okay?
And there's a bunch of gnomes in the corner tinkering with instruments.
Mm-hmm. I ask them to play something since there's a disco rave and I want to dance.
Okay, so they start up one of the tunes you've been helping them remix.
I dance, do the jazz wings.
So you know that nice smooth sort of music you've been singing? Now it's this
Tum, tum, tum,
very
dum, 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 dum,
broken sort of metalist version of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So much so that Emdrak would
I
have loved it.
dubstepped it.
It's the Emdrak cut, they call it.
Oh god, okay, sure.
so is it actually bad or?
Oh no, it's good. It's so good it's bad.
So they actually do have talent.
God, wouldn't it
They
be
do.
fun if the remixer outsold the original?
It happens sometimes.
Mm.
So, and I'm sure that's not going to go down any problems that they're using your other character's name as part of the selling point.
Sure, be fine.
So should we report our research to Redrian and maybe seek a bit of extra funds to go to Karamikos? Would that be overstepping it? Do you need something?
I'm just going to grab some books that I forgot to grab.
I can grab them for you.
I can't tell you which ones they are.
Oh, okay. Just give me a sec. I'll get out of the way.
Okay, you just have to move a little bit forward.
So the Emdrak edition is all profits going to displaced dwarves.
The profits will actually go to charities.
Yeah, supporting displaced dwarves due to the certain forge being exploded.
And some of it
There was
will
no
also
dwarves
go
there
to
anyway.
Yeah, it was all undead.
dragon-related
It was now all
charities.
undead anyway. However, if we're going to charities for burn victims
What,
of...
VMA? Vampire Mother Anonymous.
No, if it was going to support the burn victims of the supernova and the...
And the blight of the
Yeah.
or blight of the
Downstairs.
whatever the
For $1 a day,
winery.
you can help little Timmy because
The
severely
twig blights.
burned by the sun.
But I paladin who looks like this. Spy.
I'm surprised that the paladin isn't getting blamed for that too.
Well, no one knew it was paladin except for Sunglove.
Well, no one would think a paladin would arrive because the paladins are illegal.
Yeah.
True.
And if paladins got through into this country, then someone's head would have to roll for that, including the paladin.
Which is why them turning up on the doorstep in the middle of the electricity is kind of like,
How?
how?
So you don't understand.
No, we know that. The dial is still just gone. Like, how?
So I was like, there's an almighty being somehow you managed to get here.
Okay, so other things.
Take one, pass it on.
Other things that had happened in that time frame was Galantry had received a letter of cease and desist from the Alphatian Empire to stop their school of magic.
Yeah, I can see that getting yeah.
At which point they responded with we're not doing anything illegal here because magic isn't illegal in this nation.
Basically politely giving them the root finger.
Yes.
Very much so. And they,
stuff.
as well as that, one of the school students ended up showing up dead in the last month.
Oh.
And it turned out that that student was an Alphatian spy.
Oh.
And so Alphatia got up in arms about that.
So that was before we turned up?
Mhm.
And we're just relearning this through the grapevine.
Mm-hmm. While you're in the studies.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, what about the other thing when we were getting pestered with about looking for a is it thing? A elf and a
Yes, that was basically the rumors are that there was a elf, a air genasi, a water genasi, and a tribesman who were investigating this death, and basically had stumbled across a case of high treason. And then it was all sort of hushed under the table.
Do I need to write this down?
This is what happened with the Tuesday night group.
Okay.
And then it was, then they were sent to Galantry to explain, for a letter of, to Alphatia for a letter of recommendation.
How many braids are you going to end up with by the end of the game?
I don't know, I lost my comb.
he's going to become an octopus.
This go?
No, it's a small one. It's all good, it's not important. Carry on, Constable.
So basically, you've got two superpowers going to be cutting heads.
Yep. And so they sent the group across.
Do they realise that's going to make it as a world war? If they do that, because I reckon that you've also got the allies of the ship.
And so no one actually knows the outcome because they're still en route. But there is discussion about how it doesn't really matter what the Alphatians say. Galantry is more superior.
Is that because they're not afraid to use the different types of magic?
No, it's because they think their magic is best.
It's just a supremacy thing.
It's the equivalent of I've got the high ground.
Yeah,
Which are, while looking up at the person above you saying, but I've got the high ground while you're looking up.
or is it both of them believe they've got the high ground and both of them are up themselves?
So the main comparison that you have learned between Alphatia and Galantry, Galantry centered around wizardry, magic. So wizards. Wizards rule everything. Alphatia, magic is the core of life. They don't care where it comes from. Except they do not like entropic magic.
That's the necromagic.
That's one of the 5 spheres of magic. Yes, but when you try to explain that to people, not everyone understands, and they are centered around the worship of air magic. So air magic better than other sort of magic as far as their nation is concerned. That is the only real decent sort of magic. Everything else is secondary magic. Yet they accept all forms of magic. So
just to get a mental picture of where everything is, Karamithos in Alphatia, or is that two separate?
well,
Karamithos is
I will try to bring it up on this one so you can see a bit better.
Karamithos is Spanian one?
Let's see.
It's an island to the south.
Island.
Island nation.
Okay, so you can see that big map there. You can sort of see one off to the side there and the big one here.
Because I know we're in that
So,
little dog leg there.
Roughly
yeah.
where that little hand is where you'll find most of the nations.
Yep.
So if you look at the very tip of where the finger is there, so right here, there's a mountain range. That is where Galantry is found.
Yep.
It's this tiny little section of the section there.
Yep.
Now, then I move across and show you this big island over here.
Mm-hmm.
That is the center of Alphatia.
Okay.
The entire island is considered their national centre. They also own half of this island, this entire island, and a big chunk of this section here is part of their empire.
So they're like the UK, Great Britain of here.
They're the EU.
Not quite.
Think of them more as the people who come through and stamp out every other,
Great Britain. Yeah.
sorry, every other religion. So, like Great Britain did, and basically deny that there was any other civilization there before them because they're the only true civilization,
Yep.
and you can't worship anything else besides their belief system. Now, the Pleiadian is different. They colonize and educate you that they're the better system, but they don't stamp out your religion. They just say that's not as good as ours. Look at it. Look at our one. Our one's so much better.
Look at the shiny over there.
And if you've got something of interest to them, they'll go, but look, that's really our holiday. So we'll just put that into our holiday schedule. So that holiday you're worshipping has really been our holiday all along. So
So is that a bit like Christmas being celebrating Christ's birth, but Christ's birth was actually like in March?
Yep.
So they only moved it by 3 months to make it line up?
And so basically they do the cultural appropriation and basically say it was really theirs all along. Unlike Alphatia, who just says, oh, your culture doesn't exist, it's not valid. So that's the two distinctions between both horrific nations when they try to get their hands on you. And Alphatia had controlled the entire region at one stage. So nearly every nation has stories about pushing the Alphatians out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, half don't really like me.
Halflings didn't really have a lot of interactions with them. They were taken over by dwarves and orcs who stamped out their culture. So between the two of them, they don't really know what happened. They lost all their history from before the dwarves. All they know is orcs and dwarves are bad. Which is not a great way of starting out a people going, why are they bad? Well, they stamped out our culture. But what was our culture? We don't know. They stamped it out.
And where is Karamithos?
Okay, so going down to a smaller version of it.
Yep.
So this is roughly that area around here.
Yep.
And so you've got up in the corner here is Galantry.
Yep.
So that area there is where you are now.
And the middle part's like the plains where we come from.
So
like
that's the plains where you
Ethengar?
come from, Ethengar. This is where Sue's people come from, the northern reaches it's called, but there are 3 separate kingdoms,
Yep.
and each of them have their own different traditions. We have the dwarves, which is Rockholm, so you guys actually flew down to here roughly in that area there to go for the trial.
Yep.
So that's a fair distance to fly. The elves are mainly centered here in Alfheim. So that is also another location you can go to ask questions, because the elves may know what happened when no one else knows. So they may have records of it, but to get the elves to talk can always be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, because we kind of have one of their other settlement stone thingies that we don't know
Oh,
about.
it
So
depends on
They
if
don't
they,
know that we have it.
well, it depends on how they were actually,
but they might have
if they
magic
were,
that can protect them. So.
like them or not. Some of the elves don't really like other elves. Like you got the small Spaniard elves and they don't like anything taller than them.
I think we met, or at least saw them, didn't we?
You met them at the party.
Yeah.
They are absolutely amazing fun to be around until you insult them. Just think the Zorro timeline and the Spanish.
Yeah.
And think of those sort of pumped up, sort of puffy Spanish. You've insulted me. Prepare to die. And actually being able to back up that level of skill. Okay, so this big area here around Alfheim and below Galantry is Darrakan. So that was a whole bunch of separate little tribes of Thaiatians of Troldarans until Thyada came along and said, oh, you could become a nation and form into a nation. So Thyatans are very good at kingdom building.
Yeah.
Not very good at holding onto those kingdoms once they've built it, but very good at building kingdoms. So very much like the British Empire. It's actually amusing when you have that sort of thing. They built a lot of kingdoms but didn't hold a lot of them. Okay, so the Etrurgans are down the bottom there, very much American Indian style, but you will find that a lot of animalistic races are at home there as well, because they worship animal spirits. And anything that represents that spirit is welcome, because they honour the spirits. So you'll have clans of turtles, of minotaurs, or centaurs, or various other things, all living amongst the tribal people there.
Well, technically, I presume that's where Hugh comes from.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, yeah. No, Hugh Jackman actually came from Ethengar, because he is a descendant of the Yak.
Oh, okay.
And the Yak is basically one of their, a Yak minotaur is part of their cultural beliefs.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
There are not a lot of them, but they're honoured because of their association with being spiritual creatures, no matter how lethal or.
Yeah, okay.
Right, so we're...
And then, so below
Oh, sorry.
that is you have the Five Shires, which is where the Halflings have forced everyone else out of, eventually. Besides them is Karameikos, which is where Karameikos is located. Then off to the side of that is the home of Thyatis. Between Thyatis and the Northern Reaches is Yelarum,
So is
which
it
is the
quite a
desert.
distance to Karameikos then from Glantry?
It is, yes.
Yeah. How long is it going to take to travel there?
Many, many weeks,
Okay.
depending on how you fly. Or
We've got to
travel.
fly.
You can go by vehicle, by flight, by foot.
What's the fastest way?
Teleportation.
Not going.
Not going.
We can't do teleportation.
I know. Teleportation is always the fastest way. I didn't say it's an advisable way.
What's
but it's
the fastest way where we can take our bags of holding and our stuff to contact Redrian?
I would presume it's flying. That would also probably cost money.
Which is why we should contact Redrian and ask him for the funds to go to Karameikos.
And then you've got the two island kingdoms below, which is Arendi, which is the pirate nation, and Minrothat, which is the trader nation. Not traitor, trader.
Oh, wow.
So,
Oh, there's something that I
war
need
breaks out.
to keep my salts down.
Everybody's just going to
You're
try
welcome
to
to have more
avoid
carrots
the two
as
big
well.
nations.
You don't know. Galantry's not a big nation. Galantry is one of the smaller nations. It has a large area, but it has it's the equivalent of going to war with Alphatia is equivalent of, say, Australia going to war with China.
So we have the space, but not the population.
Yes.
Whereas they have the population and they can use the space.
Yeah.
But you could probably combine China with Russia and the rest of Europe, and say that's probably a closer comparison with size-wise, and you put all of us in Tasmania,
Yeah.
and then that would be your closer comparison to what it'd be more like.
So basically, the game this is going to be water versus fire again.
Yeah, air versus fire.
Air versus fire.
And one of the things you will have learnt in Galantry is the reason the Genasi are here is in a war of air versus fire, they ripped their universe apart.
Cool.
So they're going to repeat history.
Quite possibly.
So the Genasi are planar people?
The Genasi come from another plane of existence, as do half of Galantry.
Oh.
So there's a group of people who come from a place that they call French.
Just to put it in context, Tasmania is still 62 times larger than Hong Kong.
Yep.
So even if you put all of Australia there, because Hong Kong's got roughly the same population as Australia.
Yeah.
So even so, you know,
There's lots of spaces of Galantry
Yeah.
that has no people, so that was the rough sort of thing of you could pretty much fit everyone into one city in Australia
Yeah.
and still have Alphatia going, well, we can't really send more than a portion of our people towards you. But the Alphatian has a reputation of having 1,000 wizards sitting on their council, not counting their other spellcasters.
Jeez. Wow.
And when their wizards are all supposed to be archmages, only an archmage or equivalent could sit on their council.
So very high level,
so
scary stuff.
And there are very few archmages in Galantry. Each of
So-
them are considered the princes.
if Alphatia decides to invade, we're in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
They have to go through a lot of areas first.
They do have magic.
But that's not our concern for now. Our concern is finding out more about our gem seeds, right?
Well, it depends, because while Redrian wants us to investigate, he did mention that we didn't need to do everything super quick. So,
It's going to take a while to travel to Karamikos, though.
yeah.
If we want to go there.
What are our other things? Investigating the werewolves.
Yep, there was like the werewolves, the elves.
So things that you've heard in the region while you've been resting up. Okay.
Any gnomish settlements need help?
So
Well, the elves are before there, so we go and investigate the elves and then we go.
so
Yeah.
Elfheim is asking for elven adventurers to help out.
But we're not all elven.
Well, the thing is that the Elfheim generally doesn't consider anyone else to be an adventurer. You've got an elven adventurer.
Is that enough?
And lackeys, basically.
Well, we were this
And
close to getting
groupies.
to elves, and then we went, boop, gone. Okay.
Okay, so Darrican has opened up a bunch of dungeons underneath their capital, and they're slowly exploring each year as they have a look at it.
That sounds like fun.
No, that sounds like a bad thing.
So technically, the Waterdeep storyline.
Sounds angsty. Let's go.
Sounds tasty.
This sounds like Camdu's and Sofa's and probably Chauvel's
Cup of tea.
cup of tea. Yeah.
Sounds like mutually assured destruction.
No,
Sounds
not,
or
not,
am I
under,
getting
not
confused
under
with Black
dungeons. Camden likes
What are they just as bad?
outdoors, open
What was that?
spaces.
Lakeland.
But there'll be
Like
lots
what?
of killing.
So remember there's like you've got gods running around down.
Undermountain?
Might be big though.
Yeah.
That's what
Might
Waterdeep
be
is.
pain.
Undermountain.
That's a little bit.
Okay, so they are opening up a can of worms.
Yes.
So
And-
these dungeons that they're opening up, do they need people to go down them?
They always seem to be in need of new people to explore.
Now that means
Yeah, it's
the
because
ones that
the
went
dungeon
down
doesn't.
died.
The citizens of the dungeon destroyed them.
What else we got?
Okay, so Darrican is looking for more soldiers to join the army.
No thanks.
You already avoided that one.
You
you
But
have a
they're all-
massage.
They're always looking for new. Okay,
You're lucky she doesn't drop you, because it's a 12-4.
the Ethengarian region is still celebrating Year of the Sheep.
What does that mean?
It's very furry.
So it
Okay.
means we've missed an entire year in Ethengar.
Well, all the celebrations about Year of the Sheep, I'm sure, are very much the same. And you get about I think their cycle is probably about every 12 years, maybe. I can't remember the exact cycle. I've got it somewhere, but not here. Okay, so
Because we just missed the year of the horse, which is not good because.
so currently in Galantry, you can continue chasing up Zal's family.
Is that
You
something
can-
we want to do?
You heard about the dead elf and how that happened. You heard about the accusations of Alphatia versus Galantry and Galantry's response. And that there's a bunch of ambassadors had been sent off to discuss things with Alphatia. You also found out from Redrian when you last spoke to him that they were one of his other investigative crew because they were considered impartial. He says, but that might not save them from the Alphatians. The School of Magic always has jobs on offer if people want to earn a little bit of money while they're studying. Some of them good, some of them not so good. Okay, so you have heard of in Karamikos that they've uncovered a couple of ruins in Karamikos dating back to the Troldar era,
That could be interesting.
and
Seeing as we wanted to go to Karamikos
Because
for
then-
other reasons
yeah.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Exploring the
Sure.
ruins might actually be...
I'm voting for
Helpful.
a place where I don't get lynched.
and they're also looking for recruits for their army.
No thanks.
Me.
I don't think I said that fast enough.
Yeah, just wait till this is the dragons are looking for recruits for their army. It's like,
I don't want to go in an army.
No, they got age limits.
What if the dragons have mandatory conscription? You have no choice.
Yeah, but she's not old enough.
We don't know that. Maybe they are in dragon terms.
Dragons are lethal from hatchling.
So yeah, could be conscription at 2 years old. You could be 3 years
Oh,
behind.
okay.
I don't
so
think the
that's
Great
how you
Dragon
make
would
them
do
go
that to me.
berserk. You send in a baby dragon, they kill the baby dragon, then the rest of the dragons go, oi! That's how you get them.
Yes, that's
Oh,
why.
get into Baby Dragon!
That's why they send them into battle. So
Yeah, I'm just trying.
Baby Dragon! Calcrix hides behind Zal.
That's why I would suggest, no.
Calcrix is
You're
still
too
hiding
young
behind.
to go into battle.
Okay, so Redrian also lets you know about that there are a couple of things happening in the Northern Reaches you can investigate as well.
Well,
There's
are
a-
those
thing.
druids?
There are a
druids
couple
up
of
there?
cults springing up there.
Ooh, cults.
Yep, as well. One about the cult of the Howling Hatred. Another one called
Werewolves?
based around the Scarlet Moon Hall.
More
And another
werewolves?
one about fire witches.
Not werewolves. That could be interesting as well, because that might
What
mean we
about the
can finally
giants?
track down those druids who keep destroying the
And there's
winery.
also a cursed
And
moon
that
in the
would
region
put
as
us
well.
in good stead with your uncle, right?
Anything about gnomes?
Okay, so
What do we need gnomes for? Do you need to go and do your service?
Yeah, well, I've got a way around it.
Is there anything to do with the gnomes?
Okay, so the Phaeton Empire still got to call out for people willing to travel to the Isle of Dawn and continue exploring because
What's
they
the
seem
Isle
to
of
have
Dawn?
lost the last group of them. That's the island that is split half and half through the Phaeton Empire and the Arpasian Empire.
We might avoid that region for now.
Yeah, that's the one that's...
I think so. Yeah.
And that's the one that has a entire section in the middle of it full of creatures that kill both lots.
Yeah. Let's. So
Considering-
far, the ruins of
considering-
Karamikos and the northern explorations don't sound too bad. Because tracking down those druids would put us in good stead with your uncle, and Karamikos ruins could reap us some interesting results.
And the Yelarim have people hunting for a magic lamp.
What's the Yelarim?
That is the desert nation.
Okay. So there's nothing to do with gnomes
Magic
there
lamp.
to help Ross out?
Not that you know of, but
No,
they're-
but it sounds like they're looking for a retreat or something like that.
possibly. They each year they're looking for different treasures.
Oh, so this is the...
Magic lamp year.
So you're the sheep, you're the lamp. You're the magic lamp sheep. There you are.
The lamp is in the sheep.
Gotta get it. Gotta get it.
Bald spot on the sheep's side. No, on its,
You
on its
grant
head.
wishes, right?
Oh,
You,
no,
you,
no,
you end
no,
up just
the-
making felt.
Yeah,
The
belt.
lamp's tattooed to the sheep. Or the sheep is called lamp.
Maybe they set the sheep on fire and call him a torch.
I think it'll be probably bonfire.
What do people think? Is this anything grab anyone else's particular interests?
That's where I don't get lynched.
The northern reaches or Karamikos. So the northern reaches are
Closer.
So northern reaches here.
Yeah.
Karamikos is here.
And we're like up
We
in
are?
the
You're-
left-hand corner.
We're in the other corner.
You were in the other corner.
So
The
you're
northern
up here.
reaches.
So about the same distance either way. One of them allows you to pass through the grasslands.
Which is a no-no due to we've got a pyromania kangaroo.
So yeah, one of them allows you to pass through your homeland. One of them requires you to avoid your homeland.
Oh, we could go home for a little while. We haven't been there for a while.
Yeah, then you'd be responsible for causing the worst grass fire ever.
No, his horse has
Asbestos boots.
Yeah, no, but it's not him it's not his horse anymore, it's him as well. Remember, he's on fire too.
Yeah, but if he's on his horse, it's fine.
So you're just gonna have to sit on the horse the whole way. He'll be happy.
Yeah. Shield, technically.
I can then take my iron saddle.
Oh yes, the
Iron
old iron
saddle.
saddle.
Because I think all the horses are stabled.
The northern reaches lets us go through our
Yeah.
No,
homeland.
at your sister's house in Moldavia.
I could craft you an iron saddle if you really wanted.
So,
You left them cloistered there.
oh, who did we leave close to death?
Cloistered. They left all the horses stabled in Zal's sister's house.
I thought we moved them
I thought,
when we came to...
Did you move them to Galantry?
Yeah.
Galantry didn't. You
Yeah.
brought some of the mounts, but you didn't bring all of them.
We couldn't because I thought we went
we
through.
couldn't bring Camdu's mount because Camdu wasn't with us at the
Because
time.
all Camdu's horses are there, all your extra horses are there.
Yeah, but I thought
Well, why don't we go that
let's
way
do
and
it
pick
that
up our mounts?
Yeah, I want my horses back.
Yeah, it's been a
So
while since you've been up
northern
the road.
reaches?
We
No,
kind
it's
of-
up that way.
We kind of have to go like that and then go that way.
Yeah, so you go up and then you can go through, because if I open up the map for Galantry,
Sorry, I can't look that way.
it's okay, I'm just about to open up so the others can see.
I tried looking like that way before and now I have to have a heat pack.
So
You-
does,
you did- you did good, you're like,
Waffles
oh.
know any gnomish areas?
That's annoying. Okay.
No,
so
no, it stays hot for a little while.
Forgot I had.
It's actually pretty handy, the whatever this
That's not
polyester
what I
stuff
wanted.
is. It carries the heat really well.
Broken link.
No, it's trying. It's tried to edit
No,
it.
no, I as I said, I bought 10 of them and I gave one to you and one to Stefan.
It opened it in edit mode.
Because I don't need...
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the links are not so good at the moment.
Because that stacks
There we
in...
go.
So does,
What should stack in the little thing?
Little Waffle know any gnomish outskirts or
Okay.
townships in that area?
It's skinnier but taller.
So there is a gnomish community right here.
So when that falls off, Stefan,
Unfortunately, it is
You have
a
to call on the table
fallen
together.
gnomish community, so you might not find
Then I
any
might
gnomes
find
there
my
at the
cloak.
moment,
Sure.
or there might be some trying to reclaim it. He's never quite sure.
Well, I can help reclaim.
You know you have a plastic thing on your head.
yes, you put it there.
Okay, well, if we go north, we'll go that way.
Okay, so you guys are here at the moment, and the horses are here,
Yeah,
which means to go into the Ethengar is very simple.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Via the gnomish township up the top.
Though you do have the ability to teleport to over here.
Okay, cool, we did that.
So alright if I
you
put my
might-
Does
books
that
here?
do that blood thing?
That was through that wall.
Yeah.
And
you
you,
can't take the staff through that.
they did manage to take the staff through.
What?
Not all things work the same.
Will that be in the way if I drop them there?
No, that's fine.
Cool.
It's not very many things allow you to take things through portals.
And I'm pretty sure Solus
Cat
told me
magic.
how
It's not cat
to.
magic.
What I love about this brand is that
Solus told me how to seal it on the other side, from memory.
There is no seal on the
always
other
do vegan
Yeah,
leather.
it's called stick of
It's
wardrobe.
a one-way portal.
Yeah, no, but didn't he tell me how to close it? Because we closed it when we got there, and that's how Annoyance became Solus.
So well, there are ways to make it so it's not open on the other side. So basically, it's a one-way portal, and if you leave it open, other things will walk through it.
Yeah, so that's why we closed it, and he told me how to do that. I think. From memory.
I believe he did.
Yeah, is it like the Stargate method? You just put something in front of it. And so if they materialise, they just go.
Where did
Trying
you
to
drop?
see if I can see stuff.
You dropped the
That was
dice?
interesting.
No, I'm just seeing if I can see the bones
Don't
code.
worry about it. Please continue game. I'll find it afterwards.
I was
And then
just, if I could see it, then
And
I
then
would
you'll
have
probably
grabbed it.
find it underneath his book.
Probably.
Ah, there it was. That's where I left it last. Just in case it was under that. Okay, so yes, you do have that option to get there quickly and gives you some fast travel.
Sure, okay, we'll do that.
And
So we're
this
heading
is probably
to the
the first
northern
thing
reaches.
you've actually recognised that teleportation normally doesn't allow you to take stuff to it, and it did.
So the party...
Because it's not. Is it technically teleportation?
Yeah.
Anything that allows you to move from one location to the other in an instant is teleportation.
So why
Maybe
would it
it-
have allowed artifacts then? That's
Well, maybe it's actually connected. It's actually just a doorway from one spot to another. There's some type of connection to both of them.
that would explain why it can open and close.
So we're travelling to the northern reaches via...
Did
A
I
rundown gnomish village that may or may not be there.
before?
is there a rundown gnomish village?
Yes, it is called Torkin's Fall.
So we're heading to there first?
Well, no, that's after. If we're going to do that, that's after picking up the horses.
Okay,
Yeah.
Before we
alright.
go back in there.
So where are we picking up the horses from?
And
Will they build? Okay. So-
there is no known path there, so you're basically gonna have to make your own way there.
It's alright, we have got the ranger
Sorry.
ish.
There's no known path, so we'll just use the healing one.
So via Moldavia, and what was the other little town called?
Torkin's Fall, which fell.
How do I spell that?
So is that a
T-O-R-Q?
forest, desert? What is those
What?
symbols?
There.
You know, but what is
Here.
it in?
Or
is that
that's mountains, right next to volcanoes.
Oh, great.
How's
Oh,
that
Lord.
spelled Torkin?
Yeah, I hear hot
Sorry,
lava.
is it
Oh, yeah.
T-O-R-Q?
I don't know, I'm trying to get closer so I can actually see it.
Sorry. Oh, we'll just
No,
spell it
no
right. in the book.
rain whatsoever.
No, it's in mountainous ranges, so it can be.
Okay. Torkyn.
K-Y-N.
F-A-L-L.
Thank you.
So now we've got a bigger map I can look at.
Can I make up for being a pain by giving you a snack?
Sure.
Sea cakes?
Floors I can't do anymore.
I think it'll be.
No, I won't step on.
And Rinderwaffle says that the last time gnomes were there, dragons pretty much destroyed the city.
That's all good.
Yeah.
They'll try and get the gnomes, I presume.
Well, they had the dragons had destroyed Torkin's Fall.
The dragons destroyed Torkenfall.
Yeah.
My people?
Yep.
Why?
Because they the gnomes had built in dragon claim territory, but the dragons didn't tell them.
I make sure to include a soft reprimand in my prayers to my God to say that was really mean. And I don't understand why they did that.
Well, that's why you have to get into the dragon politics and find out why.
And I'm too young for politics.
No, you're not.
No one's too young to learn.
Exactly. If you're old enough to reprimand a god, I think you're old enough for politics.
Soft remonstration, not reprimand.
Bad God, bad God.
There was some very strong words used there.
Right.
Like you're like your 5-year-old or I'll smack you.
6-year-old using strong words. You was very, very naughty for killing the gnomes.
No, but not.
And your god responds, oh, how cute.
Yeah. They're their little dragon.
And just imagine when the god explains to you the politics of it, and you have these big wide eyes going, "There's a lot of words there. Oh crap."
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah,
I do,
and
that's good.
then you got the documentation that the gnome, for the gnome saying, yes, this is our legal property and all this other crap.
Don't make me put you in another realm. Dragon timeout realm.
Okay, so yes, you do know how to get there quickly if you wish to go that way.
Yep.
And that means you get to avoid the issue of what happens when the paladin travels through the city, travels up the mountain region.
Oh, one of those is just a fun.
Have a chocolate finger.
The gluten-free ones.
Apparently the dragon just gave you a chocolate finger.
I think it wasn't
Some of the new ones.
Yeah, it's because he can't eat the
Oh,
biscuits
no,
and things.
you know how the biscuit companies go, oh, let's try something different.
Well, Coles and Woolworths have started doing their own home brand things.
Mm.
It's about
Doesn't
time.
taste too much different to me to the normal brand, except it's just a little bit less sugary, which is good.
And usually
Well,
a bit dry.
But they normally add more sugar to make up for the fact it doesn't have the other flavour. Okay, so does this mean you wish to portal to your uncle's tower?
We can portal without losing any of our stuff?
Oh, wait a
Because we
second.
did it
Uncle's
last
tower
time,
in the
so-
mist.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. As are the horses.
We're carrying our companion what with us?
So, does anyone want to buy some coffee?
No. We're in Glantry, are we?
This is the addictive stuff.
I thought we already were in Glantry.
Yeah, but this is where you get the, what was it? Wolves for...
It's the equivalent of saying you're in the United States. Which state do you want to go to?
Okay, so we moved to a different part of
You're
Glantry.
going to move to you're going to move to a different part of it. I'm just making sure that you want to go through the portal before I put
Can
you
I
through.
first visit the School of Magic head person that I met and ask them for a little bit of advice about travelling and looking for these gem seeds?
But we want to keep the gem
Yeah,
seeds
we-
on the down low.
Yeah,
We
we
don't
want-
want
we
them
want
to
to
know
tell them.
that that's what we're looking for.
Would he be someone we would trust or no?
He is the head of the nation that you're in now.
Okay, so I can't ask him. Oh, God.
And if you knew what those seeds did, then it would potentially help them through any sort of
I
shortage
take
of
it
food.
back then. Because we don't want to reveal we got them just yet.
But, yeah, I think the coffee would be ridiculously addictive if they got hold of these seeds.
And they were growing wine with it.
Yeah, they were growing wine. But
And that drink was ridiculously addictive.
So, that wine that I was drinking, what would it
I won't tell him that, but I might have a quick talk to him anyway because we're friends now, and
Mhm.
it's good to maintain that friendship. Just tell him that I'm travelling for a little bit. I will see him later. Can I study while I'm on the road?
You can, but not as easily. You don't have access to libraries and...
Can I ask him to give me some study stuff so I can study on the road?
borrow a book.
Borrow a book?
Give me a roll and use persuasion. I believe is the D&D's. Persuasion is correct.
No reroll.
Sure.
Are there any books about the that gnomish town that got destroyed by the dragon?
You have to hunt through their library, and it may take you a week to find out that information.
What's persuasion?
It is charisma based. If you don't actually have any skill persuasion, you just add your charisma modifier.
Or did you want me to ask in your favour?
I got a charisma modifier of 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, unfortunately, I only get 11 unless someone helps me.
I can help you.
Go on,
if you
do
like.
the puppy eyes look.
Puppy eyes look. Is that that worth anything?
That's a thing.
He pats you on the head and says, he'll be sure to catch you up when you get back. But the books are hard to come by, so travelling with rare material risks it being lost. And he starts going through the whole library burrow. Best to read while in the school than out of school.
Is there
Do you have an
anything that I can
abridged
take with
version?
me? A
And
scroll?
he also adds that he is quite unhappy with the elf who died recently because he had borrowed some books that never made it back to the library. So that's what happens when people take
Where
it away
did
from
that
the
elf
library.
die?
That he was found in the floating in the canals.
So no books on him.
No books on him. That's the one who was the spy. Yes.
Yeah,
I
he's
asked
probably,
what the books are, so that if I come across them, I can bring them back.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
What were the
I'll
books
get
that
the
were-
names of the books after the game.
No, the thing is, those
I
books
actually
could
have the
be
names for them.
on their
Did he
way
really
to
tell
patient
you?
or whatever.
Like, what? They like super secret.
These are some of the things that are missing. He knows they're missing from the library. He doesn't know where they went.
Oh, okay.
I'll get the actual names of you
I
after
thought
the
they were
game,
like
so we
secret
don't
books.
slow game
They
down.
are secret books, but if someone can find the book and bring it back, he'd be more than grateful. Especially if he gives someone who doesn't know any better the quest to get those books back.
So there's a bounty for these books?
Well, this is what he's because unless you tagged along with the dragon to go see
Well,
the headmaster.
Yeah, because I was actually wanting to find some more information about this gnomish town, and I'm hoping it's still there.
I asked him about that too. Since Jodder is with me.
Yeah, you said
Okay,
it's probably
so-
taking a week to go through.
There is a draconic tome, a guide to dracology.
Mhm.
There is a Traldaran tome, Secret of the Merchant Princes. There is an elven tome about the trees of life.
Are you okay if I write the details down later?
It's all on the Tuesday Nights group.
Okay.
There is a primordial tome about the Church of Rad. It says you don't really need to read that one. You just happen to burn it or destroy it and prove that you've done that. That's fine, but he'd rather it come back unread by others
Okay.
because
That's a lot of books that you find.
You don't
these
have
are the
to-
ones that they know went missing.
Oh,
You don't have to go through them all, sweetie.
Well, this is for the others,
Oh, for...
so they know what sort of things are there.
Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, sorry.
The first book sounded very familiar. Is that one that's in my possession?
It might be one of the ones you picked up as well. There's also an Apathian tome called a Nithian tome called The History of Nithia. It says one of their forbidden tomes that shouldn't have been walked out of their sections. It was in their forbidden section.
How did
Only,
they get it out?
well, they don't know.
Because there was a student out of bed.
The student out of bed past midnight. Really bad things happen when students are out of bed past midnight. And there's another primordial tome, Secrets of the Elementalist. And two more tomes that you really don't want to know the titles of because, well, they're also from the forbidden section.
Okay. Very good.
And
is it something like if you speak the name of the title, it actually is like cursing something?
well, one of them has a reputation for summoning an avatar of death.
Yeah, let's not do that.
How the hell did she lose that?
Someone died.
How the hell did they borrow all of that picture?
He has no idea. These books have gone missing. These are the most noticeable missing books that they have in the last 50 years. Well, if you happen to stumble across them in someone else's collection, he wouldn't mind if it just happened to find its way back to the library.
So you're going to get somebody to audit your library and find out if the,
Oh no, there are people already doing that.
if the spy happened to be siphoning your knowledge off to your rivals.
So,
Well, he does know that the spy was researching these specific topics.
I need to be very careful then. Alright. Did you want to ask the wizard, the head of the magic, anything specific?
Well, he said it'll take me about a week to go through this stuff to find out about it.
Yes, and he says he can send someone to go off and investigate. I'm sure if you throw a couple of gold his way when you come back, he'll be able to give you the results.
That doesn't sound like a bad deal.
That doesn't sound like a bad deal at all.
Well, we're going there anyway.
No, asking someone here to research that topic while you're away.
And there are always students begging for money here.
Was it? How much will that cost?
Depends on how many weeks you want him to research.
And how much money the student needs.
Think of the students.
Well,
I thought-
if you assign him the task, he'll keep researching until you come back, or until he runs into a dead end, at which point he gives you a bill and what he's found so far.
He reaches my magic exam.
I've got some extra gold. I'm happy to put a few towards there because I like Yodri.
Normally you don't have to pay until you come back.
But I tell Yodri this that
Okay, we'll put that down.
So, are you happy to sign a you'll pay for the research?
Work
do I
out
need to
what
forfeit
the
that since I've agreed to contribute?
what the normal research costs would be.
Normally about 5 gold a week.
No,
They don't normally have exorbitant costs, but if
We
you're
could
gone
limit
for
it to
months,
100
then it
gold.
could be quite a few.
yeah.
Like 5 gold a week, but limit it to 100 gold.
I've got enough to cover them until I die type thing.
Okay, so
Right, so we're heading off to.
he basically says he's got it signed up now that he will have a person research Torcus Fall and other gnome settlements that they have in their libraries and catalogs.
Yay!
And is there any other than those tomes that you're after? Any other wish lists that you require for
Yes,
any ingredients or things like that you would need?
well, we're a school of magic, so books on magic or knowledge of places, history, time, anything relating
Anything
to
written down, okay.
anything written down that they don't already have will get a bonus. If they already have it,
Alfred starts writing on a little parchment and looking up, hopefully.
and if they don't already have it, then you get a bonus.
Mm.
They have a basic finder's fee for their school for knowledge, and they and if it's new knowledge or lost knowledge that they've lost because someone has burned it down, he says, looking at Calcrit, that's not a suggestion to burn things down.
I wasn't planning to. I was going to write of my adventures,
felt
and I
we-
figured that's knowledge of some
It's
sort.
just something I try to make sure for dragons who have a habit of taking things literally.
Okay.
Just so you know, he says,
She's a white dragon. So
I know she's a white dragon, but she has reputation of hanging out with her fire genasi.
okay, that I can agree with.
But
I
So-
still look blankly at both of you as if I don't quite understand.
He just pats you on the head saying, that's okay. And basically you'll be paid per book.
Okay, alright.
Not parchment, he says.
Okay.
Looking at you readily writing on parchment will
I
be
was
amazing.
writing my life story down because
Well,
I
what
figure
about-
there's
well,
knowledge in there.
And it will be worth something when you put it in the book.
scrolls might be worth something.
Alright,
There's some scrolls
let's
are,
get over
yes, but
to,
again, that's a case by case basis.
let's get over to Zal's uncle's. Get him
Get our
out.
horses, yeah.
Well, I presume you did that in the morning, so we were just probably just getting stuff ready in the house.
Yep. So, what are we doing once at your uncle's?
Well, we need to get some food as well.
Supplies?
Well, yeah, I presume we would have done that in the morning. That's what I'm kind of getting ready. So
Okay.
like getting some trail rations.
Okay, so while they're off at the school, and you're picking up stuff, you get back to the tower and you hear a gong sound from up the top of the tower.
Are we there at the moment, or am I?
You're gone at the moment.
I'm gone at the moment. Okay.
Yes, so we can't be in any trouble that a paladin has been discovered.
That's not good.
Well, the top of the tower is your uncle's room, which you've never been able to get into.
Oh. Interesting.
Does that mean uncle's home? You can talk to him?
Maybe. We'll go investigate.
The door's slightly ajar.
Investigate. I check with Zal and Zal.
You check
Val?
yourself. This is safe, this is safe.
Am I okay? Sorry, for Camdu and Chauvel.
And Sofa? So I think Sofa's.
And there's a sound of a band practicing downstairs. With an occasional from the Mongol Band.
So I presume Sofa's down there.
Apparently they're trying to do a different, take on the music.
Well, it wasn't my suggestion, trust me.
Someone asked Cushion what he'd like. So Cushion's now singing one of your songs. I don't think anyone wanted to say no when he said yes to it.
I can't say no to Cushion.
You need to get one of those rings of animal.
Well, he might actually get one of those rings of controlled by animals.
You are an animal.
But I thought I was buying a ring of animal control. Oh, I'm sorry, I got the words around the wrong way. I'm
Yeah, so
dyslexic.
it's ring of influence animal. Not animal influence.
Influenced by animals. Yes, animal says he wants food. Oh, okay, you have my food. Backbeak wants coffee. Have my coffee.
Oh god, that would be the day.
Okay, so yes, you do have Shofar and Kamdu nearby. As well as Zal. I did the same thing. Cheval. You can tell Cheval's nearby because there's an entire section that sounds like there's a chorus coming from there. It just looks cleaner, brighter, smells better than the rest of the tower.
Well, at least I know they're there. That's great. I continue upstairs, I guess.
And there's the sound of your Axbeak and Kamdu doing whatever they do when you're not around.
Drinking and playing dice.
No, Axbeak probably testing its boundaries with Kamdu and Kamdu slamming it to the ground.
Yes. Wrestling.
Yep,
Wrestling.
play fighting they call it.
Yeah.
Except for them, play fighting is the cool enough everyone else going, "You broke my arm, I thought we were friends."
Exactly.
This is the Axbeak's other form of fun.
He's always so depressed when Kamdu's not around because everyone else is too breakable.
Yeah, and she's the only one that you can look at eye level.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes,
Am I the only one who can hear the doggy?
oh, yeah, you're the only one who heard it. You hear a little voice in your ear going, "You can thank me later."
Thanks, Souls.
Okay, so as you look in, there's a smell of brimstone coming out of the room.
Great. That's not good. I knock.
You knock, the door just creaks open. You sort of see what appears to be your uncle currently writing away on some old tome and making notes on things as he's got really thick fog around the room. He's got candles everywhere lit up in different colours. And around the room are more holy symbols than you've seen in your entire life. From nearly every religion that you've read about, you can see iconology here.
Oh, gee.
Wow. Okay.
And most of them embedded in the walls.
Given that I know the Lantry frowns upon that, I wonder how he's gotten away with that. Okay. He presume hasn't even acknowledged that I'm standing at the door, kind of looking at him, going, "Holy shit."
He finishes writing and he looks up at you. He's got the clearest blue eyes you've ever seen. So basically, you don't really notice anything else except these extraordinarily clear blue eyes.
And that's different from the last time you looked at me?
You sort of don't remember much of every time you've encountered him.
Right. It's actually good to come on here.
It's, "Oh, I see you're back, Zal," he says.
Yes, so we're about to head out sometime today.
"And where are you going?" he says. This time.
Baldavia and then to the northern reach. Is northern reaches? Yeah, northern reaches.
Well, be careful. There are vampires currently hunting your friend.
Which friend?
Oh, the one who has the beacon on the paladin everywhere.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
But in reality, they should be hunting your other friend, the barbarian who keeps killing their vampires. But they've been assigning it all to the paladin.
That'd be scary if you became a vampire.
Damn you,
Vampire barbarian.
Can do that. Barbarian the vampire. Ooh.
Well,
We want to be Camdu, vampire slayer.
I will let them know, and glad to see you're okay. Haven't seen you for a while.
Oh, I've just been traveling and investigating things all around the world. He says, closing his book over.
Did Redrian, just out of the game, did Redrian say that my uncle is working for him as well? So like, I know like he's probably been doing tasks for Redrian since that.
Yeah, I always keep coming back here because, well, family's family, even if they're slightly dead.
Well, not dead yet.
Well, you were your sister for a while.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I don't think your sister's dead.
I don't know. I presume so. I haven't seen her in a while either. I presume. Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
He hasn't seen her for a while either. But considering you carry your father and your mother around with you,
Yeah.
he says that you're on the edge of your family's traditions. You can go either way.
Yeah, I'm still trying to test the waters with that one apparently.
It's some of them. Once you step in, you can't step out.
Oh, like lava.
Very much so. You get burnt when you take it.
Interesting.
So you family?
Is he?
Is he family?
He's technically family.
Technically. Okay.
Do I know where he is in the book?
He's not in the book.
He wrote the book.
He is the book.
He is the book.
Ooh,
spooky.
Is he technically family like I'm technically family?
Probably.
He's in the book.
No, I know that much. Does the book amend itself every time it changes?
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
It's horrible. For, like, my name, scratched out, next name, scratched out, next name, it's like,
No.
Yeah, and then it points back to that one.
No.
It would normally have an arrow, so it says, the equivalent of reincarnated to this one,
Actually-
reincarnated into this one, reincarnated into
Check
this
to
one.
see, but actually it has spoilers, seeing if it's going to be changing any other races.
Go to the end of the book. Oh.
Never
And
mind.
then he goes, what's going to happen? Spoilers!
Well, the thing with the book is its content changes over time as well.
Yeah.
So, like, I have to keep looking at it every now and again to piece together random puzzles of stuff, which I tend to try and do in downtime. But
yes, I found the cure. Repeat after me. Up, up, down, down, left, right.
A B.
And then pray to God.
Yeah.
IDKFA or whatever. Yes, I have found God mode.
So, is there anything you need before you head off?
Is there a way to stop the paladin from glowing so much while we're traveling through the land?
Well, there are two main ways of doing so.
Killing him.
That doesn't involve killing him. Because my dad suggested that one as well. Thanks, Dad. I can't pat his head.
Well, there is the he can get corrupted. Once he's corrupted, he's no longer a paladin. So that doesn't kill him technically. But he doesn't recommend that one either.
No, that doesn't sound particularly great. So we're kind of stuck with a beacon of hope, really.
Cloak
Beacon
of
of paladin.
you need a cloak of asbestos.
But that probably wouldn't help
I
either.
don't think that would help either, because it's his actual god has made him shiny.
and showing that anyone who sees the light gets the word paladin in their brain whenever they look at him,
But in which language?
in whatever language they know,
Yes.
or every language they know.
Every language.
Celestial's just a little bit.
So basically, he's our trap finder and ambush finder. Yeah, we send him out like a mile away from us.
We never
Yeah, like it's a paladin.
never need torches in there.
So he does say that the paladin needs to be aware of the blood fog because it's designed to find paladins and clerics.
That's a good point, actually. Why does it stay 30 feet away from me? Is it because of the family, or is there something else going on there?
You carry your father's skull with you, don't you?
Yes.
And ever since you carried your father's skull with you, it's been away from you, hasn't it?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't put two and two together initially because I don't.
Your dad's an necromancer.
We came to Galantree after I got my father's skull from
Your uncle.
my other uncle,
Who's actually in the book.
who's actually in the book. Though I don't say that. So I didn't put that together. What is it about him then that parts the fog?
Because the process that made him also made the fog.
Oh, okay.
You had the fog too.
He's not part of the fog, but the magic that makes him also makes the fog. So his light radius is also where the fog can't go because of what changes you made to him
Ah,
and the reason he speaks Celestial.
that's interesting. I didn't put two and two together because, well, all he says so at the moment is my name and occasionally some sort of prophecy.
Kill the paladin.
Or kill the paladin, which occasionally pops up. Given that we came to Galantree after I got him and learnt who he was, that he was my father, and yada yada yada.
Yeah, well, at least your parents will never leave you now.
Yeah, I guess that's nice. Except for my mom and dad both want to kill the paladin, so, you know, their advice is slightly skewed when it comes to him.
I've met Cheval, so I can't actually say I blame them.
What?
It's my attitude.
Well, someone who gets so angry he changes his belief system over a rock.
Yeah, though we can kind of blame the elf as well.
When she was the angsty dwarf.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see my potion worked well.
No, that was you.
Well, what do you think would happen to you if you showed up somewhere with an angsty dwarf in a city where they would just, enslave them?
Probably made me put a collar on him again like it happened the first time we were here.
Yeah,
But we didn't-
that's not really advisable.
No. Thank you though.
No, that's okay. I see. It's no longer a curse. It's now a permanent change.
Yeah, you can thank the dragon for that one.
Yeah, someone just had to get the gods involved.
Right?
Yep.
Yep.
It's no longer a spell. It's now a permanent change.
Okay.
Interesting. Spells can be undone by mortals.
But did the lycanthropy stay as well?
No, that's gone.
Well, they ripped out all the bad stuff.
Yep. Well, took out everything.
So you can't become Minnie Mouse.
No mouse at all. No mouse
For some
could do it.
reason they left my angst just to be a bastard about it.
Yep, and then he couldn't actually curse.
Yeah.
So angst and no cursing. So.
Hey, at least that's better than unable to get tanked.
Just except you can imagine the Disney princess tank.
Never happened yet.
As she goes to lift that first bottle, something comes up and just walks off the bottle. It's like,
Or just turns to water and I try.
Secretly, everything you touch has the sobriety
Yeah.
magic cast on it.
It's like rose water. It's not just water, rose water.
Yeah.
you've gotten so used to rose water now?
Yeah.
You hate normal water. What is this? Rubbish,
What is this
unflavored stuff. Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to learn from your uncle while he's here? And you're actually getting to interact with him?
Why did it take? Why did you so long to get milk?
Where have you been all my life? Oh god. So the magic that created my dad is what passed the fall. My mum is my mum. The arrow.
Everyone hates the paladin. Sounds about right.
The paladin has vampire assassins after him, which Kanju somehow keeps killing.
That's because all I see is this bright thing. She can sneak up to them and go whack.
Yeah, we keep coming across this weird cat that makes us forget things.
That's right.
This is, well,
And he probably sees me start drooling slightly.
after you stop drooling, he sort of says, yeah, you've been cursed by a god. And pick up from those curse.
And how do you get rid of it?
Find the god who did it, I guess.
Find the god who did it and get them to undo it.
And I'm presuming there's a lot of gods that can do this.
All the gods can.
Right.
Just told you before. Gods are crazy.
And so far he's documented over 150 individual gods.
And I look around the room and go,
There's about 300-400 holy symbols around the room.
yeah, I believe that.
Oh, they counterbalance everyone. They're all the same. Stop people from scrying in here because each god doesn't like to be spied on.
Well, his specialty in the school is religious studies.
Even the religious stuff is banned in Galadriel,
The practice of religion is banned in Galadriel.
but not the study
of
of.
Technicality is a letter of the law here.
So even all these are technically your study.
As long as they're in my room.
Cool.
And then they're on display for the general public.
So basically, if he's not preaching it, it's fine.
Are any missing?
Looking around his room, it doesn't seem to have any missing from his room. He's got room for more, but nothing that's actually missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably would have heard the conversation and wanted up at some point. Instead of being hearing conversation from upstairs, doesn't happen very often.
No.
You're talking to yourself again.
Well, I often talk to my dad, Solas, and my mom. So probably you're used to Zal speaking in all forms of different languages to himself.
We're not used to getting more responded to.
Yeah, you don't often hear the verbal responses.
Let alone understand them.
I don't know. I can't think of any. I mean, there's probably a ton of stuff to ask him, but
Start writing the questions down and asking them.
yeah, but like this is the first time I've seen my uncle in probably like what 2 years now?
Exactly.
Look at the halls here.
Just absolutely exactly. This is why you should.
What was it?
How big are the halls?
The halls?
Hallways.
The hallways are generally fairly thin in the tower, so it's basically
Oh,
so
it's a
there's more
tower.
room for
Okay,
the
yeah.
rooms.
Yeah, so you
Well, the
can't-
rooms are always bigger on the inside than they are on the outside.
So you can't squeeze.
Are there any dancing rooms?
The polar bear could quite easily squeeze his way around if he wanted to.
Oh, I'm just thinking he needs to spread his legs. So I might
You could ride the polar
Dancing
bear
for
around.
a run.
Dancing lights. Play
You would
dancing
dance
lights.
with him.
Play dancing lights with us. We just the dancing lights.
But
Okay.
we're not there
I
yet.
don't have dancing lights though.
So yes, okay, those two show up and they get to play Dancing Lights.
Zal
Um,
probably
Zal
casts
does.
dancing lights behind him and continues on the conversation.
Those two can run off into the dancing lights.
We bounce together. We bounce off each other. We bounce
He
under
says,
each
and I
other.
should talk to you about the damage your axe beak keeps doing to the tower.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
What we-
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
Someone-
you really should train him.
Someone keeps trying to teach him a ruin, and he's really taking a liking to try and replicate that.
It's like, while you were gone, we have a new storeroom.
You look over at one point, and Cushion's standing up on his top hind legs, and Calcrix is balancing on top of his head, and they're reaching really high for the lights, and they're wobbling around, but they're having
so
fun.
we're there now.
You feel that.
Cool. I don't know if falling breaks
Go up it. I've got a slight nervous problem.
He looks at you and goes, "Oh, you're cursed, aren't you?"
Very confident for that.
So you've got at least 2 curses on you, I can see.
Yeah, one's due to the fact that I keep on forgetting a certain thing.
Yes, that would be the other curse. And apparently,
So
you
it's
lost a
a
trial
curse
with some
of
gnomes.
forgetfulness?
Well, once you get on a trial with a gnome, you lose.
Well, normally if it goes to trial, you've lost. It's
Yeah, that's
very
what I
hard to
mean.
win.
Yeah, well, it's all one-sided.
Was it a curse of forgetfulness?
It was a curse of forgetfulness. So,
But by a goddess.
But the thing is, it might be a good thing that we don't know what happened, because we might go insane.
well, some magic will detect based on knowledge. So anyone who knows a certain thing can be found by certain spells.
Okay. So, could also be, so it's a tracking thing as well.
If you don't remember what it is it's tracking, you can't track it.
Cool. Okay. And the other problem is there anyway, I can actually slow it, so I can actually do the,
Well, if you manage to get on the good graces of some of the civilizations, they do allow you to bank time.
How does one do that?
Basically, they say they've got this quest that's probably going to kill you, and you take that quest.
so I should dye my hair orange and start having tattoos, and damn, I can't do the third part, which is getting high on the alcohol and drugs.
I don't mind doing these quests with you to help you. Not me.
People can help, but they generally only allow people they trust into their what I refer to as their battery packs.
Also, going to this gnomish township north, you know anything about that?
I've been there a few times.
Is there any gnomes still there?
Occasionally, they don't run as a city because the dragons broke their city. But that was their problem for building in.
It's a large town.
It was one of their biggest towns.
Like what's the rough population of it right now?
Population would be 1 to 5,
People.
if there's anyone there.
Would gold help them at any point?
Well, gold wouldn't really help the town there.
It wouldn't help them buy food or...
They wouldn't be there to buy to live. They'd only be visiting.
Oh, why are they there? They're visiting...
Because it is one of their older settlements.
Is there any plan to improve the settlement?
The dragons proved how poor their choice was.
Okay, so they're planning to move this settlement elsewhere maybe?
The settlement was moved hundreds of years ago.
Oh, where's that settlement being moved to?
Various places around the world. They basically joined to the other communities.
Is there a place in this area that the gnomes might like a little shrine or something that might not offend the dragons if the dragons were us first?
He's not sure because he doesn't know the gnomes that well. The gnomes don't interact with people very often. They're a bit bitter about losing one of
Are
their...
there any gnomes that we can see?
He says, well, there's a coffee gnome wandering around the tower every now and then who he's talked to quite a few times.
That's not fucking
He's quite polite. For a gnome. He does like to talk.
Yeah, that's Grindelwald. He makes good coffee.
He does.
Am I talking to Emma's uncle?
Yes.
Sorry, I just realised
Because he
that.
doesn't get involved with contracts. Or patterns, things like that.
Is there any way that we can get in good trust with these gnomes?
You would have to ask the gnomes themselves. They don't like to share their secrets. He's learned more about their secrets than most people in this nation because most of the people here don't care about gnomes.
Is Grindelwald with me at the moment?
He'd be floating around somewhere if you were to ask him.
I asked Grindelwald.
But you ask him about that.
I ask him, well, I tell him he knows about my friend's problem, and that my friend is showing sincere, genuine desire to fulfill the terms of his thing, and I would like to assist him to do that. And how might we do that? How might he ingratiate himself? And is there something that we can do to collaborate to help this happen?
Well, so the people who would most likely be looking for help would be the High Forge gnomes in Karamikos.
Oh, well there you go. In order to help, all paths seem to be heading towards
So
Karamikos.
he does know that the gnomes of Falcon's Fall basically migrated to other areas.
The gnomes or...
Torkins Fall migrated elsewhere. And they took all their stuff with them. Anything that's left behind is basically either too big to move, broken, or lost many years ago. They do have a settlement in the northern reaches as well that also fell, and kobolds took that one over. So it's now a kobold settlement.
But this one in Karamikos?
The one in Karamikos is the main settlement that outsiders deal with. Because very few outsiders ever make it to their mountain city.
Shannon?
You've been to their mountain city. Very few people ever go there.
Doesn't exist.
Mainly because it's not on any maps, and there's no road there. So to get there, you have to use one of the gnomish flying machines, and very few people are willing to do that twice. Especially considering sometimes even the gnomes crash.
Good man, economic man. Be good.
So does anyone want to ask the uncle anything else?
There was something I was gonna ask, and then
Forgot?
yes. Oh, the Baba Yaga.
Mm-hmm.
The Robert Jack. The Baba Yaga, and who she is, and more about her, like, looking inside, essentially. Maybe it was anything.
He does know a little bit about her, but you're probably not ready for that yet. So that's some things you need to experience for yourself before you can be told.
So would he
well, we kind of
suggest...
almost got smushed by her moving.
He doesn't recommend being smushed. It's not a great experience. He's had that happen once or twice.
So would he suggest we follow some of these other tasks first in order to become ready?
Well, the more knowledge you have about how the world works, the better you can deal with the strangeness of the world.
Because I think we were going to head to the Northern Reaches and do...
Because he actually tells you that he got some news from Redry and that one of his other teams had found that the inside of the world is hollow.
Oh, right.
And there's a sun in there.
Right.
Weird.
And so, literally, you're walking on the surface of a world that underneath people are also walking on the surface of, and you're walking on the same surface. Just separated by kilometers of rock.
So
Only
that's
kilometers,
sun,
right?
there's the same sun god as looks up here, or is it a different one? Or?
Who knows? I haven't been down there, he says. But it is a world upon itself with its own rules, and magic works strangely there.
Is that what they call the Underworld? Or is
Hollow
it
world.
a hollow world?
Underworld's different.
Well, that's why, yeah, I was like, I know it doesn't sound right, but
If you wanted to speak of the underworld, you could go to the, what was it, that maid shop and speak to the holder.
So we've been conversing while I was
As an
away with
example?
Em's uncle.
Actual part of the city.
I thought that said myth.
Nithia.
Yeah, but I was thinking.
In reference to one of the books that he was talking about,
Talking
the
about,
headmaster
yeah.
was talking about.
Yeah, there's a book on the Lithium.
Can I ask M's uncle something?
Yep.
In relation to Zal's family line, do you know who I am?
Yeah. That's why the potion worked on.
Oh, so I actually am part of the family line?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
We could probably
Zal's
ask him
uncle's
about how he
name?
can fix the forge as well.
The what? Oh, the forge.
The
Yeah.
forge.
It's screwed.
What's Sal's uncle's name?
He doesn't give it. He's
I
always
remember-
referred to as the uncle.
You remember the names have got
He
power.
he does have a name.
He does,
Oh,
but he never uses it.
Uncle Zal.
Uncle Buck.
Zal's uncle.
Yuri Ungervan?
I thought that's the one you killed.
No.
Killed another one? Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure his name is Yuri.
How many names we killing?
Just one more, I'm sure.
We've killed one, which is where I got my dad's skull before we even came to the Lantry.
Yeah, that one I remember.
Yeah.
That's
wasn't
when
that like a
that's when we got the M16 of Magic.
third lost cousin 17 times removed who's a dick.
So my note here is magic uncle in Galantry is Yuri Unvanage, Unvanage, and I've got another note somewhere about
Yuri Unban?
Unvange. I don't know if I've spelled the surname right though, but I'm pretty sure his first name is Yuri.
Well, Yuri is better than M's. Zal's uncle, yeah. You see what I mean? Yuri said. Much easier.
Zal's uncle.
So have we asked him about going to the Northern Reaches versus Karamikas directly?
His answer would probably be like, see, we'll do both eventually.
But if one was more urgent than the other, he might give us a leaning.
Possibly.
Certainly seems to be a few reasons to go to Karamikas. A, you can find out more about the gnomes that might be able to help Yodri. There's the ruins there. Then there's knowledge about the
a few of
seas.
us wanted to travel through.
So what did we say his name was?
To
Yep.
get to the Northern
Yuri.
Yuri, Yuri, so U-R-I, and then U-N-V-A-N-A-G-E. Is that right?
That would be good enough.
Uanbanh? What was it?
U-N-V-A-N.
Oh, V.
So is history going to repeat itself with the fire of the edge and
A.
He does not know. He was not there the first time.
I got that completely wrong. So, the fifth
But fire and
spelling,
air are not a great combination.
U-A-V-A.
Air tends to make fire stronger.
So maybe going to the whole world watch.
G-E.
V-A-N-G-A.
Well, there's a group currently there at the moment.
Yeah, it's a great place. Let's go.
U-A-N. V-A-N.
This is actually the previous group for Wednesday.
Yep.
This is before you guys went there.
Or you could just check.
They loved it so much they left as soon as they
It's
could.
the last one in the column on the left hand side.
Oh, U-N.
Yeah, I remember that.
Editor's nightmare.
This is a terrible place. Let's leave.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really, I think the only other ones are Baba Yaga, Forge, and, yeah, if Calbrix wants to ask which one would be, I guess, more urgent, stuff happening in Karamikos, which Red told us about, or the northern
yeah.
stuff in the northern
Yeah.
reaches.
To the
Because he's given us options for both, I think.
He says, well, he says, relating to the forge, you have to talk to one of the dwarven clan masters.
They're not gonna let me in.
And they're the only ones who know how their forges are created. Only dwarves get that knowledge. Which is probably why a branch of the family turned themselves into dwarves and infiltrated their civilization.
So that's the reason why you.
Realized.
That's the reason why you body swap.
Yeah, I have my clan dagger still, but if I go back to them with my clan dagger and I'm an elf, they're gonna stab me because I'm an elf with a clan dagger.
Yeah, you murdered
Yep.
one of them.
So we need to change you back into Emdrak?
No, we'll just deal with right now, please.
Can we cast an illusion over you to make you look like a dwarf?
They see through illusions quite a lot.
Yeah.
Especially around one of their forges of power.
I appreciate the assistance, but no. I've had enough
We
assistance
need
from
to
you right
get Cushion used to the idea that Emdrak is also mistress.
now. You also need Crystal Dragon stop meddling in the affairs of dwarves.
I wasn't meddling
That
in the
immediately,
affairs
that is a saying of dwarves.
Technically, if we look at it right, I was meddling in the affairs of a polar bear who had depression.
He did solve the polar bear's depression. He has been much happier since you came back.
Exactly.
You're Presbyterian now.
Maybe you
Congratulations.
the gnomes as
No,
well.
I'm more of a master.
Maybe the gnomes could make it improve the forge.
No, the gnomes
You're a
have their
master of all
own
dragons.
artifacts that they deal
Or
with.
traits, right.
And they,
The ones I know about, anyway.
if they were to
Okay, that makes sense, but it still doesn't take
work on the forge, it would become something other than what you want it to be. Gnomes aren't good at actually repairing things, they always improve. And improve by the means of warp and change into mean something completely different.
So we somehow need to eventually convince a dwarven forge master that he is actually the person who owns the clan dagger, even though he currently is an elf, which we probably can't.
That would be an interesting discussion to hear. Maybe you might want to document that one.
Either that or might get in touch
Also,
with an
how-
ad dwarf thing.
To be honest, it's starting to sound like Karamikos is easier.
Yeah.
Well, 200 years is not an old vampire.
Okay, what about 1,000-year-old vampire?
Well, now you're talking about vampires that have been stalking the Troldarans for as long as the Troldarans can remember.
Cool, how do we kill it?
That's the problem with being stalking the Troldarans for as long as Troldarans can remember.
Right, it's
If
quite
you
easy.
kill it, it wouldn't be stalking the Troldarans for that
Start a
long.
war between Landry and whatever, and have
Okay.
have the vampire in the middle of it.
Vampire will just sit back and wait, or join in and say free food. They deliver.
Probably one last thing before we get moving. Is there an easy way for me to contact you? Because that...
Yeah, just write in the book.
Which one?
You've got a magic chopping book. Just
Which you've
check.
never written it.
Just check that Tom Riddle's not
I
in
do
there
think I
first.
could write in it because it tends to change itself, but...
He opens his book, it's the same contents. Who do you think's been writing to you all this time? He just looks at you with that.
You didn't say it, you didn't sign it, you just did it.
Well, I didn't know who else was reading it, considering you were getting other people read it.
Well,
But
actually,
only him to read it, his family, so...
At that time, you didn't know that.
Yep.
Dylan did.
How many copies of the book have you got?
Only two.
Good.
Well,
Isn't no one else would read it?
the only reason why I showed it to him is because I read in the book that he was part of the family line, and
And last time I sprayed on you, I didn't know that.
okay, well, we'll do that from now on.
So you got the family line of infiltrators.
You know, you really haven't, given much information on what you've, looked into.
So what was the forge actually?
Especially
designed
record what you played in there.
it's designed for
Didn't your father tell you?
keeping the dwarven
No, he's been saying my name, and that's
empires
it.
running.
Say my name. Can I get him to say
Basic
woman as
source
my
of
name?
power, which powers the entire
He
system.
says, with a rather sad tone.
So if it
I'm
gets powered by
trying.
some certain seed,
Couldn't you tell from that?
You have to
have
tell
a
when
working
he's
force
sad,
of
when he goes all droopy on
Yes,
me,
I
but...
grew up with Marvel
Yeah, I
and
know.
had-
And he says Zal really enthusiastically when he wants me to kill the paladin. Or he actually just outright said it the other day, which was interesting because that's only about the second time he's spoken more than just my name. And I don't know what triggered that.
Maybe you're getting more powerful with your necromancy.
Possibly.
So do we know where we're going yet?
They still haven't decided yet. You know, it's like the are we there yet on discussion, except where are we going discussion.
I thought we had decided on Northern Reaches, but then everyone's now saying Caribbean.
Well, I think we're running out of information at the moment, so.
Yeah. By the sounds of it, there is a lot of stuff going in Caribbean, so we might.
There's a lot of stuff going all over the world, he says.
How's the Giants going?
Well, there is a giant wandering around Durrican that you could probably ask. If you want to know about giants, ask a giant. If you want to know about vampires, ask a vampire.
Weren't they all converging and things like that? Because there's some giants.
Which is why asking the giant who's wandering around Durrican is probably the best bet, because they don't know where the other giants are.
So, the information we have on the task in the northern regions is 3 tasks. Are they tasks that M's uncle's interested at all in us in completing?
Well, they were tasked from
Or does he just...
Registry.
Yeah, they were tasked from Registry, but is there like a crossover interest? Like, we could get the druids while we're going after the werewolves type thing.
Well, he thinks, well, they are different cults there apparently, so interesting cults is his study.
So,
He has
he
interest
might
in that.
support us going into the northern reaches to achieve certain goals.
He has no problems with that.
Well, what do you know of these cults?
Perhaps getting
Not
these
much,
druids
that's why someone's investigating it.
is worthwhile doing. They did kill a lot of people.
He did find the information about the cults existing and pass them on to Ridgery.
We're going to go over to the neighbour?
And they seem to be elemental cults.
Oh.
Elemental.
You want to play, did you?
I mean, either way, we're going to be doing tasks for Redbrian. So we either go to Karamikos, because not only do we have tasks from Redbrian there, but we also have
He's
a couple of
Karamikos.
other personal
Yeah.
tasks.
He's what?
he's like,
Or we do the
Yes.
stuff in the northern reaches and then
As
head
is the northern region.
down. Because that means we then get to go through Ethengar, which we haven't been through for a while.
And what's the significance of Ethengar to us as a party?
Because we're from Ethengar.
Yeah, almost the entire party's from Ethengar.
Okay, so it's our homeland.
Yes.
Three
So if we
parties.
go to the northern reaches, then we can go through Ethengar either on the way there or on the way through to Karamikos.
No,
well, I
if
know
you
I
go
go
to
through
Karamikos,
Ethengar, and all I
you'll
see
be
is bloody
Ethengar.
green or
Yeah.
brown.
Because we're in Galantry, so if we go down to Karamikos, we miss Ethengar, but if we go across to the northern reaches, we go through Ethengar.
Okay, and then after that, we then go to Karamikos. That could be the long-term plan,
Could be.
unless people are interested in Karamikos more. So we put it to a vote.
Interested in both, to be honest, but
Okay, so we'll put it to a vote. Karamikos, Northern Reaches, as our first destination.
Northern reaches.
Northern Reaches,
Yeah, carry me something.
Karamikos,
northern reaches.
Northern Reaches, Sue?
Yeah.
Karamikos or the Northern Reaches first?
I think it would be best to go to... I wanted to go to Karamikos.
Okay, so we've got 2 Karamikos, 2 Northern Regions. Where's Josh? Karamikos, Northern Regions. So we've got 3 Karamikos, 2 Northern Reaches.
Where does the dragon want to go? Is he going to make it a deadlock?
I'll give you nice sparkly things.
Oh, right.
Isn't your family in the northern reaches though, Camden?
And wouldn't you like
go
to...
there?
Oh, sorry.
Well, her ancestors are from there, but her families are from Ethengar, and she's
Yeah.
been to the northern reaches, so they know her there.
Yeah.
Are you famous over there?
Infamous more.
Okay.
But she
They keep trying to marry me off.
That'd be interesting.
No.
Not for the room.
Well, look at it this way, the groom doesn't get a say in it.
See, I was going to say Northern Reaches, but there seems to be a lot of Karamikos.
Shotgun wedding. Shotgun.
The shotgun wedding is next week. It was last week.
So if I say Northern Reaches, we're at a draw, are we?
You're at a deadlock, and then you have to probably vote again.
Karamiko's like, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like,
Fraudulent votes in this
it's
party.
fraudulent vote.
I kind of prefer Northern Reaches. I'm particularly interested if there's a way to help Yodri via the Northern... Is there a way to help not Yodri via Karamikos route?
Yes.
Can I just say one of us is the lighthouse, not a person, doesn't count?
Who's the lighthouse?
Blame the paladin.
Well, some say one of
If
us
there's
is
a
voting
way to
for
help
people at the moment.
If there is still a way to help Yodri going to Karamikos, then I'm happy to go to Karamikos.
I'm happy for Karamikos as well. Like, either way we had options.
The downside is Karamikos means you have to travel through most of Galantry to get there.
That's true.
Unless we can somehow get air travel.
Not with your horses. You'd have to leave all your horses behind.
Not even them.
Can you do that Pokeball thing?
Oh yeah, can we Pokeball like them out?
I have no way of.
This is a bad idea. It took us a long time to get us out.
Yeah, I wouldn't
That's
risk
because we didn't know what the
Pokeballing you.
command words were.
Yeah, but that was new technology that they were testing out. I really don't want to risk that with mounts.
Was that damage technology or?
No, that was Spurs technology.
That was Sin's technology.
That
Another nation.
Yeah, let's not mess with that.
That's a nation off to the west of Darken and west of Galantry. Very good at imprisoning things, such as genies,
Is
extra
that the one that
creatures.
puts up quests every year?
Genies,
That's
party
your layer.
members, dinosaurs.
Well, they're just expanding what they can capture.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Is there a way through Galantry where we can avoid people, aka the paladin?
Probably if you head out via Ethengar and then go south.
Okay, so we can still go through it.
That's all territory, isn't it?
It is where most of the goblins and orcs are in the region.
Ah, free smushing.
I thought they were trying to make friends with the...
That was different. That was a different one.
Well, no, they are currently negotiating a peace talks with them, so that they can then use them as cannon fodder against the Galantrians.
So when the war starts up, then
Oh, that-
kind of marching.
There's no war starting up. They've always been at war.
Yeah, but I mean,
They've always been ongoing for centuries.
okay, they're going to do North Korea, South Korea, and when China decides to move on.
It's more like invading, continuing the hostilities that they've been doing consistently. It's not a Cold War, it's a constant war.
Okay, so we're going to Karamikos via Ethengar. Is that correct?
Oh, it sounds good. So we still get to go through Ethengar.
Right.
Right, how are we getting to Ethengar?
Horses.
Alright, are we on our horses and travelling now?
No.
You gotta jump through.
Yeah, we gotta
portals.
get our horses.
We gotta get our horses. We're still in Galantry City in my uncle's tower getting all this information, which is great
Before that,
information.
we need to get that bug that turns everything into war.
Zal has his well hidden.
start travelling on the road soon?
That's
Well, my uncle was giving us some good information. I thank my uncle, and I will write to you this time. Now that I know it's actually you talking.
I thank the uncle too, but wave and back up because I'm getting ready to go pack my pack and get going. So, we're packing our bags?
Yep.
We're getting our supplies?
Yep. Well, some of the supplies we got in the morning.
And then we get to our mounts. How?
So through the portal teleport downstairs that he found.
Well, he's actually used the other one.
The other one?
The other one that goes right to the family home in the city.
Can you show me how to use that? 'Cause that would be really useful. No, that's cool. I said nice.
So he takes you roughly to where the other one was, but just around the corner of the tower was another one that you hadn't found.
Ow.
And I can still put my dust through there. Good thing I didn't put my dust through there. A natural roll.
Natural one?
2.
2. Okay, so
So are there ones in the other houses, so like the Boldavia and the house
Normally only from this tower,
Only from the cell? Okay.
because the other ones are a security risk if you could come this way.
So the way that I closed the other one and took all baby works the same for the
They work the
house?
same for all of them.
That's useful.
So, this way you can go straight to your horses.
Yay! Yay!
I thank him again, and if I have any more questions,
Feel free to write them, he says.
I will write them next time.
I just realised.
And I will start writing slightly more. I've been writing in another book that doesn't change and shift what I
Dear
write.
uncle, how do I kill the paladin?
Well, here are 101 different ways of killing a paladin.
I get the arrow out and show it, like, hold it. Like, really? Really?
And he says, yes, really.
Yes, really.
You put the arrow in the bedroll. He rolls a poke.
I feel there's some family preferencing going on here. You ask, how do I kill a paladin? You get 100 ways. I ask how to kill a vampire. Oh, you can't do it.
Although you asked how to kill a 1,000-year-old vampire. It's as if there was a way to kill them, they would have done it by now.
You asked how to kill a vampire, it's like, your response was, he have a shopping list.
Or we could fling the paladin with a catapult at the vampire.
That would be interesting to see, he says. If you could write the results of that, he would like it for studies to see if it would work in the future.
While firing the arrow, so it goes through the vampire into the paladin.
So is that assuming he goes through the vampire, or you're firing him at the other way to the vampire and shooting from the other side?
I'm assuming in case he misses.
Oh. So if he misses, then you fire the arrow. What happens if you just hit the paladin instead of the vampire?
Didn't get that far.
I thought the arrow doesn't miss, so it'll always hit the paladin.
Oh. So if he stands behind the vampire, what miss?
So it might go around him.
Now that would be interesting.
It is magic.
It is powered by a pissed off spirit.
So, travelling
So,
to...
you travel to
Ethengar?
the town
I think
of
I just realised,
Oh, mine was
doesn't matter if I'm on my mount or not.
Rumenstrad.
Yeah.
I'm going to still see just grass in front of me.
Yes, you're in Rumenstrad now after getting all your stuff there and travelling. The place is covered in dust.
Oh great, so I'm leaving muddy footprints.
Women's grab?
I asked Celeste what happened to the little, the other little thing that was cleaning the house.
Oh no, I told him to do anything for a while.
Oh.
You basically said that you told him to stop at some point and he stopped.
Somebody?
Well, someone did.
Probably. What was this?
I don't think
Apparently
I
he
did.
was annoying and someone said stop that, so he did.
Oh. Oh, the unseen servant called servant. I called servant.
And you hear someone go, "Yes, mister?"
While we're yes,
It's a male character.
Yes,
Okay.
that's
Because
why
I
it's
haven't-
confusing.
I haven't looked.
Yeah,
I
because you
haven't
don't look like your sister anymore, so... Yeah, because I'm like, it's always been yes, miss before.
because I would look like my sister last time I was here.
Yep, fair
Just
enough.
also probably another bad thing. We'll get souls to do that in a minute. I asked servant if while we're away from this house, if you can please continue to keep it tidy. I'm not sure who told you to stop.
Mistress did.
Which one?
Mistress did.
So your sister might have suddenly returned somehow and said, "Don't clean the house."
Okay, well,
Just well, Mister's telling you to clean.
I will, if you can keep it not quite so dusty, that would be great.
You see a little bit of dust move and then it goes away.
Not quite what I meant, but okay. We'll get there eventually.
Well, no, it won't start until you leave.
Ah, yes, the skill I inherited from my family, the smart ass.
Hey, well, it says not quite. He said not quite so dusty. So not quite so dusty. He doesn't really understand.
I think you need to rephrase that to not dusty at all.
You do hear some chuckling in your ear. He absolutely loves it. He thinks you're doing a fabulous job. Please keep ordering servants around.
How many of them are there? Is there just the
Raising
one
up
unseen servant, or
Well, can you see it?
can't see you generally either?
Then does it matter?
I guess not.
You get something that shows that you can see invisible. Good to see. Good to
That's
see
what
you
you
talking
just
about
start
some still.
circling around you going, we're over here, now we're over here, now we're over here. It's like,
Now, he says, to be honest, you really don't want to see what they look like.
Okay.
They don't wear clothes.
They know what Nesky rep is?
Yep.
I guess I like call the unseen servant back and please make sure you keep
Yes,
this
mister.
place tidy while we're away.
Clean.
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 No dust.
Well, clean generally means not dusty. Okay.
Well, tidy and clean are two different things.
Yeah.
Tidy puts everything in its place.
And
Clean,
clean,
clean and tidy.
And everything repaired.
I don't think there's anything damaged.
And a little thingy, Mr. is learning.
Thanks, boss.
Always good to be a voice of, reason behind the ears.
Yep.
By the way, you should grab that arrow for the paladin every now and then.
Thought I did that anyway.
Yeah, she seems a little happy at the moment. Always seems to put a concerned look on her face every time you touch it, and I miss it.
I quickly touched the arrow. Oh, sorry, I brushed it.
Yeah. Sure.
And you hear this happy sigh every time you touch it.
yeah, because I won't go down, oh, it's just flesh wound, wait a minute.
Death saving throw, flesh wound, yes.
Yes, and having imaginary friends helping you out always help. Because as far as everyone else is concerned, they don't hear a thing from the other side of the conversation.
Just hear one sided.
Exactly.
Actually, what language am I speaking when I speak to Solus?
Any language.
Just any? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whatever language you're speaking to, he's always responded.
Right, okay.
But of course, he never actually speaks to you. He telepathically
Yes,
tells you,
that's telepathic messaging, yeah.
which means he's always cheating.
I think, didn't he? Oh no, he's just
Having
telepathic.
fun talking to yourself still.
He can actually speak, but he doesn't. He chooses not to.
Too, yeah.
Why? Because it's more annoying to everyone else.
Yeah, I thought that was the other one, not you. But
So glad I mentioned
He likes a bit of both.
So we're travelling now?
Okay, so yes, you picked up your horses. They're being well tended to.
I'd give all my horses treats.
They're all happy to see you. So happy.
I follow next to Kandri and give all the horses the same treats.
Mm-hmm. They line up again.
Does one start ducking around?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
They
I
have
continue
a really
feeding
smart
the
one that's
horses,
directing them all.
absolutely oblivious to what's going on
So
here. until
apparently
Kandri-
you've got an unlimited
Kandri
supply of
stops
horses
me.
coming for treats.
So unless you stop me, this is going to continue.
It goes on for at least half an hour.
Jeez. These horses aren't going to go anywhere after this. Too full.
It's probably
They're not big treats.
Oh, okay.
It's the equivalent of giving them a sugar cube.
Oh, yeah.
So by the end of it, they've all got diabetes.
Oh, they're all high on coffee.
Oh, that's right.
I
Okay,
have
one will
chocolate
be giving coffee, one will be giving sugar.
I have chocolate-covered coffee beans.
That's probably what they're getting.
And behind you, an axe beak comes in.
I don't feed the axe beak the coffee beans. But I have chocolate-covered raisins, which I would give the axe beak.
You see, it's less enjoying those. They sort of chews the chocolate and spits out the raisins.
That's fine.
Not fleshy enough for it.
Would it prefer chocolate-covered mince parcels?
He would love
Your
that.
speaks not being lazy.
Okay, I'll give him some chocolate-covered
No.
mince parcels.
He's now getting fed by the dragon and the singing
You don't have a
princess.
bin
So
Lord, I can't wait for your axe beak to gain like so much weight where it just doesn't even function.
Oh no, he doesn't, because then he runs around in circles for like 5 hours because he's happy he got a treat.
I want him to get us to where we're going fast, so treats for Axbeak as well.
You do realise that means I leave you guys in the dust because
Nah, my horses go much faster.
though, but her map
Oh,
travel
yeah.
is...
Yeah.
Do I travel fast now? I'm 6 years old.
No.
No.
Oh, you
So
can
it's-
have-
I
you can-
still
you
travel
can-
faster than the elf.
Oh,
No,
mine
the
was-
dwarf, not the elf.
The elf travels.
So am I slowest member in the pack again? 30 foot per thing.
I think the polar bear travels that fast as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure polar bear's like 30 or 40.
But I can sit on the back of the polar bear.
You can't, because you got the gnomes on there.
I'm right.
He's got. She's riding with the gnomish band.
Yeah.
But I can fly at 60 foot.
30 foot as well. Same speed, I believe. Let's have a look.
No, I'm pretty sure I can fly faster.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Have a look. Okay, so as you're getting ready to go, you hear the gnomish band start play travelling music.
I thought you said that you would improve that slightly. It hasn't been done yet?
I haven't done your character sheet yet, no.
Okay. Because I think it went up, but not by
I'll have
much.
to have a look.
I think you're right, it might be 40. I'll circle it and see if you can help me update myself. Where was it?
So yes, they start some travelling music. So you have some nice theme music as you start to travel along. Let's see if I've got some nice theme music for you.
Montage music.
I think Josh has suggested music.
Don't worry, I'll sing a special rendition of Hellfire just for you.
As I float for like through the grassland, setting everything on fire.
Ah, we got good travel music.
Just gonna point out this isn't mine, this is the remix. I'm not responsible for this.
I look proud.
Just waiting for the dueling banjos to start up.
Yeah.
So amusingly, this is the Curse of Strahd music file.
Nice.
So thematic.
I wonder who's playing that.
What did you know?
Oh, okay.
The goth.
Well, then I'll listen to what he's saying.
So they're all hanging off a cushion using their various harnesses they built.
Yep.
So Cushion's quite happily swinging along, making some of their drums bang. As you head off out of town with all these people watching.
Oh,
Yes.
before I head out of town, I probably ask Solus to cloak me, if he can, while I'm in the town. And probably until we reach the
So he grabs a cloak off the hook and throws it over the top of you.
That'll do.
Why don't you put the forgetful cloak on there?
Well, I could do that, actually.
What's the point in hiding yourself?
Because
What's
I
that big
wanted...
blinding light over there?
So you've got
No, I probably put the cloak of forgetfulness on the bloody paladin.
Yes.
I'm probably shining through the clock.
Yes, but then people will forget that they saw the shining paladin.
That's true.
I see a paladin. What was that I saw? I don't know. My eyes are still singing. What did I see?
While following the fire elemental laws, I am putting out the
Little
fire.
flashing stick of men in black.
So what was it? Yours is Aqua, wasn't
Yes.
Aqua.
it? And followed by
Fire
Infernal.
elemental horse.
Followed by Inferno. Aqua and Aqua Inferno. I believe you wanted Aqua as part of the name as well.
Yeah, but he already got Aqua, so I'm just saying, you know, so,
Okay, so
but mine's not big enough to put out as much fire as yours.
That could be a problem.
well, technically they're mostly the actual horse with some elements of their elemental nature.
Yeah, so I'm leaving puddles.
Yeah, at least it's not puppy leaving puddles on other people. We have
a
that
puppy?
happen in other games. We have puppies who leave puddles on other people,
Okay.
especially when they get excited.
Yeah, that's totally not my animal companion. I don't know. I don't have two crazy animals in those games. Not at all.
You should feed them coffee.
Well, one's a young dog, so it hasn't actually had coffee yet, as far as you know.
As far as I know.
So how long till we reach Ethengar?
So you guys probably spend about a week's travel, traveling out of Galantry.
So a year later.
Basically.
Beodri is here.
No, so the day after, what, do I get a massive hair growth or what?
You just look older.
So no big hair growth or nothing? It's
That's
just disappointing.
You see like a tiny little wrinkle start, and you see that growing
Yeah, I would
every
have
like
like all
couple of
this
weeks.
like shape. The next day,
That would have been fun.
That would just be a curse of whiskers. It's like, I shave and bink! I shave again and bink!
Do I know this magic?
It's possible to get.
Sounds kind of fun.
You just ask God to curse things for you. I curse you!
Well, I don't want to curse him, but I'd like to bless him
What about the vampire?
You can bless him with hair growth.
with hair growth.
Yeah.
Do you want to be blessed with hair growth?
This is extra hair growth.
no, I don't want to be cut.
And depending on how blessed they are, their hair may never stop growing.
I could see that become like cousin It.
And it's like you're
I-
standing there and hair just slowly grows out. It's like, sniff.
I won't
every
pray
5
to my
minutes,
God.
sniff.
Alright, so, there was a mention of a town that started with R. And we got distracted.
Ribbonscrat was where you started.
And I asked how to spell that.
So that is, once I move the thing so I can actually see it, RYMSKIGRAD.
Nice. So we're travelling from Rimmonsgrad on to Ethengar.
Yep.
Right.
And you're passing down the Don Anor River. DOI-ANUR River. Because basically that's the quickest way out. You manage to get someone in the town to give you to give you directions. So by travelling down the river, you're unlikely to be stopped, as you look more like a patrol with the amount of horses and people you have. And plus you have a band.
Yes.
Silly.
Well, does he not recognize the princess?
I don't know, she's parted her hair now.
The princess.
Oh, yes.
The Ethengarian princess, because they're currently in Ethengar.
Oh.
And then you find yourself in Ethengar very quickly. So it goes the river goes right into Ethengar, and then all the way down into Galantry if you just keep following into Darkin if you keep following the river.
Yeah.
Because it is a rather long river.
And there's settlements and stuff that can stop up along the river.
Well, in Ethengar there's just people, but you can then follow it through the Broken Lands to the Darkin city of Corrigan.
Right. And then from there they can travel down to the Immortals. Okay.
If we can get hold of a boat, like a long island,
No, no boats can traverse that section.
Is it the Darrow Lands?
The Broken Lands.
The Broken Lands?
like
Um,
and then a couple of good waterfalls.
a lot of rapids, and it's also passing through Trolllands, Knolllands, Orklands, and other areas like that.
So is that on the way to the Darkin city?
That is on the way to Darkin.
And then that takes us to Darkin.
And once you're in Darkin, you're in fairly much safe area, and Darkin has boats that will take you all the way down to the coast and then around to Karamikos if you want to. Which is generally the fastest way to travel.
Do we spend any time in Ethengar because this is our homeland?
Well, I think where we're from is like that way compared to where we want to go.
Yeah,
So
okay.
probably we'll just follow the river, and if we come across any Ethengarian settlements, to rest there.
Yep.
So you pass through the Yagatas and the Taits territories as you travel south. They are two of the Ethengarian clans.
Through the
Catch
Yugata?
up on any history.
Yugatas and the Taisiets.
Which animal?
How do I spell Taisiets?
They're not animal territories, they're just the
Oh.
clans.
Okay.
So Taisiets is
ITS.
Glad I asked.
I was going in the wrong direction.
That's hard enough for me to
Clans.
pronounce.
And they're the clans?
And they're the two main clans.
Okay. Do we talk with them at all? Get any extra info?
Most of them just see the group of people coming with a dragon and keep their distance.
Even the dragon's bouncing around chasing butterflies.
That's
and
the reason
deadly,
why.
That's probably the reason why.
Plus, there's also someone walking around as a flaming smokestack.
Why would a bouncing dragon chasing butterflies scare everybody?
Because it's really, really active.
Dragons are considered dangerous in the best of times.
Yeah.
How quick wanders up his arm and noses up and says, "No." Okay, then. Look at the axe, please.
Actually, more than happy to play and
Dancing
talk
lights?
through them.
Oh god, here we go.
I probably like cast dancing lights as far for now. I should probably not as far off because I think it's over range, like 100 maybe.
Yeah, just like over the
And whenever you cast it, you realise the mistake as the XP takes off while you're riding it.
I thought I was riding my horse.
Well, that's right, you were riding your horse. You used to ride your XP a lot as well.
Yes. I know.
Yeah, well, your XP just takes off after.
I'm currently riding my horse. I've been riding my axe beak through the Landry because that's cool. I probably swapped between the two, but...
So your XP gives your horse,
And my horse, which is the size of one of her big horses, probably is like, you're right, buddy.
Yeah.
You're not sure if you would come off worse.
Yeah. I don't really. I probably keep telling him off, like, you two, get along. We're all family
Friends,
here.
You probably find that there's, like hoof marks in the side of your axe beak and there's bite mark on the back legs of your horse.
And I probably, like, at some point I sit them down, like, come
Great
on
job.
guys, like,
Like children. And Palcrick sits just behind Zal, which is doing this, going,
Remember, use the ring this time.
oh yeah, I've got the ring, and I can also, most days I'll have speak with animals in a slot that I can just cast, so.
So half the time he talks to the axe beak, he doesn't really want to use it again.
alright, so where do we get?
So, you spend about another week traversing the plains, going down the rivers, having to stop occasionally and interact with the various tribes, but not actually having the tribes come to you.
Yeah, this dragon friendly, she's okay. She just
Which is
likes-
why they haven't attacked you.
Yeah.
They haven't tried to drive the dragon from the plains yet.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
a friend to the plane.
The other
whatever.
thing is you're not breathing fire, so...
Yeah.
They do have a flaming person with them, which is why they keep their distance. They don't really want to anger a flaming person wandering through their grasslands
Yeah,
in
but
summer.
at least his horse has asbestos boots, so we tried. We tried our best. We're trying to mitigate for
So you do notice there's a whole lot of clan people coming along the path you've taken, making sure no fires start up.
Oh, that's why I'm walking behind it.
Yeah, I thought we
We need to spit on.
They just confirm
Mine's
the...
a border base.
Well, there is this pillar
Where
of
I
smoke
walk
walking
is
along the grasslands. Someone does have the smouldering armor and it's just...
Yeah, I know.
Looks like he's constantly burning something.
He's
He's,
still constantly burning something.
he's just...
No,
No, he's just angry.
He's just showing off.
Ooh, marshmallow.
Yeah, he's doing his silent smouldering type, so he thinks he's Batman.
Lots of marshmallows.
Waste opportunity.
You hold out the marshmallow over Chauvel's head.
Yeah, I would. And I offer one sugar.
I've got a better idea.
How does Chauvel take it with all the trying to cook things on your
No,
head?
I've got a better idea. Get a pot,
But I'm offering you
put corn in it, and ask him to hold it.
Yeah, and I just say,
Let's just say if a marshmallow goes over my head, I intentionally get angry and the marshmallow falls down the line.
I offer you a very burnt marshmallow. I continue trying to roast marshmallows.
Just get a pot with corn in it. And just ask him to hold it.
That's up to you. I'm doing
That's
the
a bit
marshmallow
corny.
thing. You do realise the more you
Well,
hold
alright,
it,
if you ask me to hold it, it's being thrown away.
Bink! Okay, so yes, you managed to make it through the grasslands.
hold it. I'm not holding it.
The grasslands in a week. and you can take the path traveling through next to the river into Darken. That will probably take you another week to traverse.
Yeah. So we're at Darken now.
So it would be, let's make note that so I know how long to make the time. So it does take a while to travel all those distances, especially when the roads aren't great. Or we don't have roads, we're a grassland. So yes, you make it through to the city of...
Just a fun check. No more travellers are found in the fields, partially eaten by Axbeak while they're trying to go to the loo.
None I found.
Okay, alright. Well, no.
Probably because I've told my ex-speak off enough with that, so he's just like,
Yeah, he doesn't.
okay.
You just make sure they're not found.
Yeah, he doesn't bring it back.
He is
Very
very
good
good at what he does.
Because previously he was bringing it back saying,
Look at that
trophy.
And he was told not to bring them back, so he doesn't bring them back.
But
Okay.
now then you
You're
might
actually
get a
in the
spring
while you're not sorting it out.
So how many weeks? And where do we arrive?
So in 3 weeks you find yourself at the city of Karagane.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Corrigan?
Yeah.
So it becomes like a CSI episode.
C-O-R-U-N-G...
All these corpses keep being found with like home rune on them.
L-A-I-N.
Oh look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to tell when it looks like a mixture of upper and lowercase lettering.
Cornlungain. Like,
Yeah.
Cornlungain.
Let's see if I zoom in, do I actually get to see what it says?
So 25.
How are you happy with your actually running around killing people?
She didn't
I'm not happy with it that I don't know about
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, it is using a mixture of upper and lowercase letters, which is frustrating.
Please tell me not to do it.
Okay.
That is
Alright.
So what you see in Gnome front up
Over there?
sunglasses
You are there, you come into the city, it's a big city, people are looking at you with the... Whoa. Okay, the guards are normally ready to stop invaders coming this way. And you come with this whole horde of horses, a barbarian princess in front. and probably a whole bunch of orcs in the distance between you and here going, we're not here. Your reputation does precede you.
Yes.
And yes, you make it into the city of Corrigan.
Are we greeted?
You are greeted as they hail the princess.
What about this princess?
How is he?
Princess of Sound.
Well, they have heard of the troubling sounds of the white bear, as they've been told.
Oh, okay.
And then
So
they're
your
assuming
bear
that-
is now
and
slowly
they're
gaining
assuming that he's the
popularity.
mistress of the white bear.
So is the white bear with plants?
And little orange bows.
Not today.
Little orange bows. That's just the picture I needed. All right.
Well, the gnomes have been busy.
So
And
In
they're good
greetings.
at fending off the axe beak too.
And if anyone makes as much noise as that nose, as the gnomes traveling through the mountains, there's no way anything would want to come near that. Thinking, if they're that loud, do we really want to go near them?
as they're greeting like
Yeah.
can do, are they offering us any kind of hospitality?
Yes, you are welcome to the city. Please turn off your gnomes as you enter.
That's up to this one.
I think they're only got two settings, loud and extra
I'm
loud.
just gonna ask Zal and lean over and go, I didn't know gnomes had buttons.
As you're hearing this theme music in the background.
I think they mean just telling gnomes be quiet.
Oh, right, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, can it, guys.
Okay. Ding!
You can start back ahead.
Sorry, mistress.
Can they direct us to somewhere to stay?
Yes, we do have many an inn, though I think you might need one with a large stable yard because it looks around. It seems like you brought a horde of dangerous animals with you.
Not dangerous.
He points to the XP.
Yeah, I was
Not
about to
all
say.
dangerous.
He points to the polar bear.
Not all
He
dangerous.
points to the dragon.
Not dangerous at all.
That's a bad
You
Can't
say-
do it.
you
Come on,
say-
I've got a gnome on my back. He's grinding coffee.
Then he points at the princess. Very dangerous.
Oh yeah.
She's not an animal.
This is the can-do menagerie.
Can they
I love
direct
this
us
place. I'm
to
not
a
contemplating
stable that
danger.
would
This is
suit
awesome.
our menagerie of animals?
Yes, he'll make sure one is cleared up for you very quickly.
Okay, so do we follow him or?
He'll send someone ahead and then he can walk you there.
Okay, that would.
Yeah. and walk
What's
by
his
these other
name?
People go, we got kicked out of our stable.
What's his name?
His name is Joseph.
Really, Joseph?
Yep, Joseph.
And Stales is his wife married.
He's not married yet, but he's working on it, he says.
And what race is Joseph? Is he?
He is a human and he is of Chaldaran descent.
I asked him about his culture.
Says, yes, I'm into trading, seeing what I can get on the markets. Some days are good, some days are bad. I heard this is good coffee market in Galantry. I haven't branched out into that recently, but
I
last
asked
time
him
I
if he'd
did
like
that,
to
I
try
made a
coffee.
loss. What was that?
Ask him if he'd like to try coffee.
Coffee's a nice.
I asked Grindelwald to make us some coffee.
Oh, that's really nice coffee. Maybe we should trade, arrange an import of that.
I'm sure Grindelwald and I can arrange something.
The big problem is transportation of materials across long distances. Apparently people want to steal what you bring.
Oh.
There are a lot of thieves in this world.
We'll have to sort it
A
out.
lot of them come from, the Haldenic descent, like your princess over there.
I'll be
They are very good
you know I'm
thieves.
going to become known as the Coffee Empire Dragon?
Probably. You'll have a horde of coffee beans.
Yeah. That's okay. I'll figure out a way to get them here safely.
Because that would be great, because then we could go into business, start our own franchise,
That would be awesome.
and then I might not have to, kill things for a living.
Kill things, really?
Guard duty requires you killing a lot of things.
Oh,
I've killed a lot of rats in my time.
Okay.
Some of them talking too.
None of them were named Splinter, were they?
Well, I didn't ask.
Oh.
They didn't actually introduce themselves. They were basically yelling profanities while I stabbed
Were
them.
any of them accompanied by turtles?
None that I can remember.
Turtles.
Well, then we're all good then.
Are you a racist? You don't really like turtle or turtle? Yes, how are you pronouncing? It's like tomato and tomato, he says.
Ross is like...
I'm not going to bother arguing.
Oh.
Due to the fact that I can't get drunk.
Does he tell me anything interesting about his culture or his ancestral history?
Well, his history is he grew up in a country dedicated to making money.
But does he have any tales or
Yes,
or
he
folk
talks
tales that
about
could tell us?
how as a young up and learning soldier he spent time on the border forts fighting off orcs.
Oh, okay.
Of course, he spent more of his time hoping the orcs weren't invading than he did actually fighting them, and he probably spent out of those 4 years on
I
the border.
introduced him to Cam Do and so she has lots of orc killing experience.
Yeah, he'd rather keep that at a distance as much as possible because, orcs have a tendency to kill people.
Yeah, but
Cam Do has a tendency to kill orcs.
So I'd rather
Yeah, but he
him
also-
be doing the travelling than me.
we also had the other orcs that we helped.
We helped orcs?
Yeah, he did help orcs in the past. Ross, be careful, you're pulling a cable.
Does he give us anything?
Yes, he
Useful?
does talk about how there seems to be a up-and-coming franchise starting out of Darrakan City. They call themselves an investigative service, but who knows what they're investigating because, hey, they're throwing money around like they're making it.
Probably because they are. Do we recognize any of the names?
The Redarian Investigative Service.
Oh, right. So we do recognize the name.
Chris,
Ah.
got it. The RIS. I gave the tax evasion pension. What's the RIS?
But they are making headway in the market, and apparently their stocks are good.
I invest.
Well, he doesn't take investments. He isn't
No, I
well.
will invest.
That's probably a great idea. Go off investing with them. And he starts talking dividends and returns, and,
Oh, wow.
I start asking him lots of questions.
and you have this whole conversation about money walking towards the place because that is their big religion is money.
So we get to the hotel?
This is, yes, he says that this is a good silver establishment.
What does that mean?
Meaning they rate their establishments by the measure of coins. So you got copper establishments for that are really cheap, silver are middle class, and gold are the high end.
Us can do with this, okay.
Can be not really involved in this.
I asked Zell and showed up.
Never mind.
As long as I can have stable all our animals, I don't think it really knows.
It's a good thing about going to a silver
I
place.
asked Sofa,
Hmm.
is this establishment okay for people?
Well, I've stayed in gold before, but silver, okay.
He'll slum it in. She'll slum it in silver.
pants over here, Jesus!
Thank you! I needed someone to say it. Because Paul Calcrix is just trying to help.
I'm a movie star, jeez!
Excuse me, but the 6-year-old in a group of adults is organising your accommodation.
So what, you got fed up being outshone by a dragon?
No, I didn't.
No.
Who is-
We basically found a 4-star hotel, and Stefan's like, well, I'm used to 5 stars because, you know, I'm a movie star and whatnot.
It's the kids outside and then you've got your idiot stars.
Yeah, you can camp outside if you'd like.
And you hear a sound from coming from the one of the gnomes.
You're upsetting my nerves! There, boy, it's okay.
No, I think the nose irritation
I-
irritating yours.
I explained to Grindelwald to tell the gnomes exactly what's going on here.
It's all they know. They're just trying to tell their princess to not leave them outside at night.
Well, that's up to their princess, not to me. Can we be shown to a suite of rooms?
Well, they're taking out the entire inn for you.
Oh, well, that's lovely. Is there food?
Yes, of course there will be food.
Can we have food?
There's lots of food.
Can we have food now?
We're not there yet. We're walking there.
I thought you said we arrived.
So yes, we're arriving there. He's telling us he's pointing at the place. We're not there yet, but we're currently discussing about whether you're going here or somewhere else because you had that argument on the way here.
Who the hell's in charge?
I don't know. I thought I was taking you somewhere.
Sorry? No,
I
I'm
asked
in my
Al.
game.
This place is fine.
Okay.
That's good to know. Okay, so now that I've kicked everyone out of this place already.
Okay, I'm good to go.
We settle in?
He makes sure all your animals are safely tucked away in the yards and not going to wander the town killing things.
I ask if there's any
He
libraries.
specifically points at Zal for that one.
I
Says
ask,
no more act speaks loose again. We have heard the reputation.
You can't control it.
Jamal should
What
be
about
right
Jamal?
outside as well.
Good to see that
Well,
reputation.
well, he's got the flaming
You don't
horse.
control over your act speak.
It's a lot different than the act speak that goes around killing things.
okay.
Yeah, but he can just unsummon it and then summon it back again.
Yeah.
Are there any libraries?
So that's what I do with mine.
In currently, not a huge amount of public libraries.
Is there anywhere where one could do research?
You could, but you'd have to spend about a week here doing research.
How
Yeah.
long are we staying here? Is this just a stopover?
This is just a stopover.
We might just catch up on the
Like,
local.
I think a couple of days.
Okay.
We might have to end up belonging a night there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna
Abby,
camp here and...
So
what do you want?
you get a nice room, plenty of food, and have a chance to sleep there for the night in Colorado.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. I can do that. Okay.
So we stop at a silver
Okay.
hotel?
Silver hotel, yes. Silver quality hotel.
Just note down that
What
Sam's
time,
not
yeah?
pleased with it.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, super.
Doesn't have a tanning bed or a swimming pool.
She doesn't have a suite to herself.
Doesn't have a butler on hand.
You also have a phone for on hand. It's called the gnomes.
Yeah.
She has to share with the gnomes.
That's an entourage, okay? You want a butler on hand.
All 7 of them.
Really? She's got 7
Oh, sorry
gnomes.
for
Yeah.
the 7 gnomes.
How have you acquired 7 gnomes?
Because I'm a Disney princess. It's in the script.
It was a Disney movie, yes. It's a cheap rip-off of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. It's so from the 7 gnomes.
Well, they could have said the 13 gnomes, but that might have seemed unlucky.
Eh.
Good to know. So is that where we're ending it for tonight?
That sounds like a good place to end it. So I'll put this on end credits.
Do we get any of those rerolls